Is it the same YouTube
Check my
link?
Twitter. All right, we're live. So there.
No one
Yeah,
touched
new YouTube. Yeah, well, check. You should be following me on Twitter anyway. So, well, we might get some viewers. We might not. Unfortunately, the old one, as YouTube is wont to do to screw things up. Well, actually, I think that was more my fault than anything. But anyway, we're live. We got no viewers, but that's okay. If you watch this after the fact, how's everybody doing this evening?
Fine.
Awesome, man.
Excellent.
We got Barry Dan. What?
Hope everyone else is.
Jealous because I'm seeing people playing the new Forbidden Stars game right now at GAMA, and I'm jealous.
Oh, that's what they're playing. I couldn't tell from the picture.
Yeah. What?
Forbidden Stars game. Or is that what it is?
What the heck is Forbidden Stars? I've never
The
even
new
heard.
FFG game, the Warhammer 40K game.
The $100 money sink.
Yeah. How many of those are they going to come out with? Armada was that same thing, and that looks like it's not likely to go over real well from what I hear. And how many $100 miniatures games do we need out there? Honestly.
All of them?
If this one is like StarCraft, I'm buying it day one.
Really?
Hands down. Oh,
why
I
not?
love the
Why not just
StarCraft
play
board game.
StarCraft?
And then Marty, just
Because this is
drive up
streamlined.
here to play with me on day 2.
Yeah.
Our friend Joel just called it Twilight Starcraft Pyrium 40K. So.
Oh, dear. I mean, yay.
I don't know. I mean, fine, whatever. I mean, is it supposed to be? Is it space combat? Is it little minis combat? What is it supposed to be for? I mean, I don't know. Anybody got to tell me?
Well, it's not a miniatures game like X-Wing. It's more of a board game. And it really does look like StarCraft, where you're controlling a fleet. And in this game, you're trying to gain objectives, and the first person to gain so many objectives wins. There's 4 different factions. Plays 2 to 4 players.
Wow. Checks in the mail from Fantasy Flight there, Marty.
Hey, well.
Well, I mean,
see, what's so funny is that so StarCraft I actually bought the year it came out, and that's one of the first big board games I got into, and it was a very complicated game, or I thought it was at the time, and it's so funny that a week from now, me and 3 other guys are going to get together. We used to play this game years ago. We haven't played together since, and we're going to play it. So it's so ironic that they come out with this, which is very StarCraftish. So I just...
Did you ever play the video or computer game, Marty?
Oh my gosh, I was in love with it. Still playing StarCraft 2. Loved it.
StarCraft also, or StarCraft DOS?
DOS.
Okay.
I've heard that the StarCraft board game does some interesting things.
I had it,
The
and
action-
I traded it away.
The action selection is cool, and that's what caught me with this one. The action selection is going to be, you have these action tokens, and when you put them down, somebody can place their action token on top, and it's resolved from top to bottom. But it's face down, so you don't know who's doing what. So the order things are resolved can change as it goes down the stack. It's just kind of a cool mechanic.
Well, here's the one thing. On one half, I've never been the biggest 40K fan in the world. I don't know. I liked Space Hulk, and I enjoyed. I see when I played miniatures, when I played the Warhammer stuff, I played the Warhammer Fantasy. So I was like that weird group of people that played the one that didn't sell $1 billion worth of stuff a year, or whatever it was, and. For me, I don't know. It was like this. As long as they keep making stuff from the Games Workshop group, I could still hold out hope that one day they will reprint Warhammer Quest. So I can hope and pray, and one day maybe.
I like that little mechanic though you were saying, Marty. The the in order, face down, kind of like that Cult Express kind of feel to it.
Yeah, and with Game of Thrones, everybody simultaneously places their action tokens down. But with this one is they stack on top of each other. So that's what's unique about it.
So we
What?
Nothing. I was just shushing the phone.
Shushing.
I was
thought you were
shushing.
shushing me.
Well, always, but yeah, no.
But
Lance, you want us to mention a few more games from GAMA that we kind of thought looked interesting?
yeah, I mean, go ahead. Talk about stuff that I don't have access to. So. Yeah.
Well, you'll get it before we do.
right there
So
on
You sold
Don't
them.
be happy,
Aww.
it's not like we have access. I'm just looking at Tom's pictures that he's tweeted the last day or so.
Yeah. What else? What else? What else? What else?
Well, I mean, I'm interested in Seven Wonders Duel. I mean,
I'm kind of Seven Wonders out. I mean, I don't know.
well, it's a two-player Seven Wonders, so I mean, it might bring a little extra, feel to it. It's I look at things like this, and I don't
there's
know.
that last like 700 people they need to squeeze their money out of.
Well, I mean, if
Seven Wonders.
Think about it. I mean, a lot of
goes
people.
away.
I mean, like Marty plays with Tony on his lunch break. I'd like to play this with my wife because I mean, I've been trying to get her to play Seven Wonders, but it's not an easy thing to get to the table when it's just two play. I mean, obviously it's just two of us that play together a lot of times, and when you have other people,
What
or
Marty
you have other
and Tony
things.
do on their free time is none of our business.
Well, if we can ever peel them away from Netrunner.
Yeah.
We're playing Conquest now.
Oh, okay.
Well.
Are you just a fiend for the card games there, Marty, or what?
I am. I love. Well, see, card games are so great because when Tony and I get together for lunch, that's the easiest thing to pull out. Is a card game. Doesn't take up a lot of space.
Right. So did you just skip right over Star Wars?
I didn't play it, but enough people played it and told me about it to where I didn't find it very appealing, and then it didn't take off in our area at all. It just died a horrible death, somewhat like Doomtown did.
Yeah. Hey, didn't one of the and sorry for the tangent, but didn't one of the other Dice Masters come out this week?
D&D came out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah,
That's
and
the only
Keith got
one
the
that I was
super rare.
mildly interested in.
You are, or you're not?
But I've managed to keep my money in my pocket so far.
I bought a few. I bought like a dozen packs just because.
And you got a super rare.
Yeah, I got the super rare Red Dragon.
Ooh, very cool.
Did you eBay it?
No, I've still got it. eBay's too big a pain in my butt.
You'd be better off trying to sell it on BGG, honestly.
I've been trying to get over to Martin's house because I know he's got the whole thing, but he's been gallivanting over the world. I'm sure he's probably out of GAMA right now.
Who?
Eric Martin lives around the corner. Hey, Ricano.
Hey. Look at this. Everybody wants to show up now. No, has anybody been playing anything new lately?
Nope.
Best Little Treehouse
stuff.
Best Little Treehouse comes out this week, Friday on Kickstarter.
Great, I gotta play
great
that.
family game. Little plug for my boy Jason Katarski. And also Bottom of the Ninth, I've been playing that a little bit.
Oh,
That's on Kickstarter now. Let's just plug everything.
Well, we're gonna plug things. Hands of the Sea. If you were a fan of the Few Acres of Snow, you definitely need to check out John Lloyd's Hand of the Sea.
Hands of the Sea.
Hands of the Sea.
I will look.
Hands in the Sea. Sorry, Hands in the Sea. Sorry.
What do you know? Nothing.
Yes, no, but that's my boy Don Lloyd. That's old school war game card game driven. But yeah, that game is awesome.
Is it broken yet?
No, not yet. Anyway, you know what's weird is I really enjoyed Hands in the Sea, but man, I didn't really get into Few Acres of Snow, and I thought Mythotopia was not very good. So I don't know. Maybe it's just I like a game based on what Martin Wallace made more than something that Martin Wallace made, which is weird because I enjoy Martin Wallace games for the most part. So
I'm flip a coin on. I'm very flip a coin on Martin Wallace because there's a lot of cool things he does, but he's got a lot of the cubes of death in all his games. Some of them sometimes it just gets on my nerves, but other times it's just like London. I don't mind it as much.
London is an amazing game. I think London is like probably it's right up there between that and Struggle of Empires. Those are my two favorite games by Wallace. and they're both so different. Hey, Seth Jaffe just joined us, everybody.
Hey, Seth.
Industry great Seth Jaffe. How you doing, Seth?
You must be really bored.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. So far, you've talked about 0 games that I've even played except New London.
What? Why aren't you at GAMA, Seth?
I'm actually leaving tomorrow to go to Portland for GameStorm.
Is Mr. Mendez at GAMA right now?
He's also going to GameStorm. However, a couple other TMG people are at GAMA. Andy Van Zandt, Misha Harris, and Daniel Headlock.
Cool.
Seth, how's Microcosm, man?
It just got picked up on a boat or something, so it's en route. I actually I went to Salt Lake City last weekend for SaltCon and visited with the guys, and they gave me one of the pre-production, advanced copies.
Awesome. You have it there with you right now?
Yeah, let me grab it.
Quick, let's talk bad about him.
And that was kind of like the Target lady. What aisle is that on?
What's that?
Hold on. And the other thing I don't like about Seth is...
he's back. He's back.
Okay.
What do we have?
Let me focus on Seth there. Oh, that looks very cool.
Yeah.
There we go.
Nice. And inside,
wow.
I guess.
Sweet.
So I'm really proud of this. The box has this cardboard sleeve inside, so that the cards fit. And then if you take them out and you remove these promos that are for other games, and then you sleeve the cards, they'll fit in the box even with sleeves on.
Oh.
Very nice.
I was thinking ahead, and I could work.
Did you try them on multiple different types of sleeves, like Fantasy Flight and Penny Sleeve, different ones?
No, we just made sure it worked with the Tasty Minstrel Tasty sleeves, because everyone else can suck it, I guess.
I only ask because it seems like for whatever reason, I've just been I like the Fantasy Flight sleeves, but they don't seem to fit in anything.
Oh.
I didn't even realize you guys made sleeves now.
Good. I wasn't sure how they were going to come out, but now that I've got them, I don't use sleeves all that often, but when I do, man, those Tasty sleeves are really quality stuff.
I'm going to get Michael to send me some Tasty sleeves because I'm a big sleeve guy, so I'd love to check them out.
So Seth, how does it feel to finally have a game published?
Oh!
Eminent Domain was my game of the year that year. That's a great game.
Feels pretty good. At SaltCon, I actually played Terra Prime again. Anyone even heard of that?
Yes. I liked the components in there. I thought those were top notch. Some of the best components I've ever seen in a game.
That's on fire tonight.
Seth is rethinking his decision to come on.
Actually, I think I've been trying to talk Mike into doing a second edition of Terra Prime ever since the beginning, because I think it kind of got lost in the shuffle. It didn't get out. Not a lot of people have played it, and I think it's really solid. And I think I might finally have gotten him thinking about it. He might want to put it in the Eminent Domain universe, speaking of Microcosm.
Well, that would probably make sense. Whatever happened to our Homesteaders expansion that's been promised but never came up?
Last I heard, Alex was working on it, and I haven't heard about if he ever got anywhere with it. So
that is one of the best games that is out of print, in my opinion.
It is. It's solid. I really like it. I haven't played it in a while.
Yeah. Other than that, let me think. Does anybody else have anything they wanna stump for? I mean, Lords of the Ice Garden was one of those weird quit showing off your stuff. See, the camera's not focused on you, Seth, so we can't really unless I focus on. And you're what are you like? My baby's first webcam. The resolution on that is horrible.
I don't know. It's my friggin' computer. It's got a webcam. I don't know.
All right. Well,
I'm not a big time video superstar with fancy pants equipment Lance.
That's not me. Don't worry. But no, Lords of the Ice Garden, I don't know, it was based on some books or whatever. God, I don't even know what the books are, like some Polish fantasy novels or something like that. And like, but anyway, they sent me a copy of that game a while back, and I played the heck out of it. It's a lot of fun. And then like you can only get a hold of a copy for like $150, something like that. But now they got a Kickstarter and it's smashing. They have like 20 grand already. So if people are looking for a really awesome like Viking-esque game, that's a pretty good one too. Check that out.
Lords of the Ice Garden?
Lords of the Ice Garden. It's based on some weird fantasy novels that I've never heard of, but I mean, I've been thinking about picking them up. I figured it's Polish, so I figure Anthony must know how to pronounce everything. And no, but it's one of those weird area control games where everybody isn't the same, and you know you get different win conditions and all kinds of just. Yeah, it's got a lot of stuff going for it. Great little miniatures too in the game, little figures and stuff. So definitely something maybe if you want to check out. I don't know. I don't want to turn this into a big giant commercial for everything. So I mean, if anybody else wants.
Well, I got about a half dozen more things I'd like to promote.
Well,
things that we really like too.
Well,
like
has anybody played Above and Below? I keep thinking about backing that, but I can't. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. Does anybody know anything about Above and Below?
Above and Below.
No.
Let's see if I can.
Yeah, it's the new Ryan Lockett game or Lockett or whatever. He's got an Ancient World, which is really good.
It's a Red Ravens game.
Oh yeah.
Red Raven games. Yeah, Ryan does some great. He puts out some great stuff.
I don't know. It's just it looks like it's a kind of a dice mishmash game and with some stuff. Rado did a huge long review of it, which I haven't bothered to watch because I'm a horrible human being. But I don't know. It looks interesting. The whole idea that you build up, the stuff that's above ground and also build and then explore a cavern below everything as well. It looks interesting. I don't know. So I've been take a look at it. I've been thinking about backing that. It seems like Kickstarter had nothing I wanted to back for like the longest time, and then all of a sudden it just started slamming with stuff. Like I mean, I dropped $100 on Blood Rage. I don't know if anybody else did that as well.
Well, you got the fifth player expansion, huh?
Oh yeah, I got that. Might as well, right?
I did the same thing.
Yeah, $105 plus shipping or whatever. That game looks. Well, it was about Vikings. How can I not? I'm like nearly full-blooded Norwegian. If I didn't back that, I'd have to turn in my cards. So, what is Station Initial Games going to do? A completely overproduced miniatures game there, Seth?
Overproduced miniatures is not really our thing.
Well, sometimes you need to branch out to explore new worlds, right?
Well, we are taking steps in that direction, I guess. Did you see the Deluxe Orleans Kickstarter?
Yeah.
So we're working.
I did
You may have taken my money from that too.
So
Orleans is actually a really, really good game. If you guys haven't played it, it's pretty amazing.
It is, and so we're taking baby steps. First, working on the overproduced part. Then we're going to work on minis, like maybe later.
I was told I had to back it, so I backed it.
Well, that's
Brandon, you were shaking your head. Why were you shaking your head there?
I was so incredibly bored when I played that game.
Well, you're
It
kind
was
of
totally
incredibly bored.
multiplayer solitaire. It's like I'm gonna pull my junk out of the bag, and you're gonna pull your junk out of the bag, and maybe we're gonna.
Hey!
Whoa, family show.
Let's keep our junk in our bags. I'm sorry. I get a little excited sometimes to start pulling stuff. Anyway.
well.
It was a late night con setting though, so I mean,
Pulling
I will
things out
play
of
it
the bag is
again.
not the interactive portion of the game, so that shouldn't feel too interactive. But I agree. Not every game is for everybody.
Hold on, everybody. Be quiet. Barry,
Yes.
be quiet.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. We got a large portion of our Boom Quest members in here. Are we gonna try to get a game in before the end of March?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that 28th weekend. I don't know which day it's going to work, but one of those.
Well, I had a weird hair in my butt to think maybe we should try to do it Friday night. This like not tomorrow,
This
but
Friday
the next
night?
day. Yeah, this Friday night. Yeah,
The
that
20th?
Friday night. Yeah. Thank you. You can count.
I
I know. I just it's one of those things where I'm just maybe possibly kind of thing. I don't know. We'll discuss it. I got a real itch to.
You killed my
kill
character
it.
last time, supposedly. I wasn't going to play this game.
No,
you just got
pregnant. You just got pregnant.
Sorry,
Listen, I am a responsible little gnome, so I don't think that would have happened.
Whatever.
Lance, I wanted to. Can we? Let me just mention two quick Kickstarters, then we can get back to Boom Quest and other things.
Lord, here we go.
Well, one
Here
I
we go. My card.
All right, trust me here. Actually, Lance did a nice video for this one. Castle Assault is actually pretty good by T.J. Dunbar. It's kind of like a lane combat. Yeah, it's kind of a lane combat game, and it kind of does some unique things in that lane combat, especially on tabletop, where most of the time when you see lane combat, what is it, Soul or whatever the heck Stoneblade's got going on the iPad, whatever it is. But it's kind of like that, where it's got the lane combat, and I actually like it. It's actually a good price on there. I want people to check that out because I think this is kind of one of those under the radar projects, Castle Assault. And of course, I wanted to mention Valeria Card Kingdoms by David Mackenzie's company and Isaias Vallejo. It's almost funded, but it's got 3 weeks to go. But it's very cool.
And
if you like Monte Coro,
yeah.
What if you don't like Monte Coro?
Then you'll like
you
it.
might actually like this.
Okay.
Because it's Machi Kuro is it's not that it isn't fun. It's just it's an experience. But with this one, you actually have decisions to make, and it's actually kind of challenging in a lot of ways. And plus, there's I hate to mention Dominion because I don't really want to mention Dominion, but it's got you can set it up differently each time. It's like which character we're going to use for the number 3, which character we're going to use for the number 8, and you can flip it around and alter it up instead of it just being the exact same 8 buildings or whatever that you build every single time. So
it'd be awesome if there was a good video reviewer that did a review of it so I could check it out.
Yeah, I did. So if you want, you can go listen to me ramble for about 30 minutes.
He's been a good video reviewer.
I think you were shorter on that one.
Well, sometimes if I can teach the game quick, then I can. My reviews are only really long because I try to explain every step of the game, which is why that my Lords of the Ice Garden review is taking so long to get done, because that has a ton of little tiny rules, and it's very, very, I don't want to say fiddly, but it's definitely a very old school feel to it. It's a game that you feel like would have been published 4 or 5 years ago, because that's my personal belief. As we're slowly moving forward, we're not making games that have 25 different rules and things like that. It's like, okay, here's your 4 mechanisms, and that's the entire game, and that's just so.
The game
it's a throwback.
Yeah, awesome. The game I would back right now, if I didn't already own it, would be Tumbling Dice, because that needed a reprint in a bad way.
Yeah, but the shipping sucks on it.
Well,
this is going to start a big Kickstarter discussion because I'm really been fed up with Kickstarter and all the.
Okay, well, we can talk about that, but before you harp on Tumbling Dice is one of the best family games you'll ever play. It's a game that literally every person in your family can play, from 2 years old to 100.
No doubt.
And it's an experience game. You just leave it sit out, and I take it to my lake cabin. There's 1 week out of the year that my brother and all of his family come from Las Vegas, and my sister and all of her family come from Chicago, and my parents, and we're all at the lake cabin, and there's just one table, and Tumbling Dice is just set up the entire weekend, and people. And how cool is it that it's a dry erase board? The board is a dry erase board, so you just keep score right on the board, and then flip the dice and keep score. Yeah, it's awesome.
Because I've got my copy and it doesn't do that.
Oh, really?
Well, I guess I could, but I just never thought of it.
Yeah,
it's a great game. I mean, I fully agree with that. It's an absolutely great game, but I'd rather get it at my FLGS for near that price than to get it on Kickstarter. I don't need that, but I mean, if I'm going to be able to get them to get it, I don't need to pay another extra $15 to $20 to get it for $75. To me, it's not It's not $75 great. It's definitely $55 great, without a doubt.
I don't know.
I think I paid $75
Really,
for mine.
what's the $20? It's just
a
like,
lot.
well, I don't know.
No, you
My
gotta remember.
father didn't laugh. My father only laughed twice, so that isn't worth an extra $20. So
No, I mean,
that's
when I've already got
Well,
when I've already got plenty of great family games at my house, we can get a laugh and have a great time out of a ton of different games. I mean, you could take out any of the 10 Haba games I got, and we will have a night just as good as Tumbling Dice. But don't get me wrong, I love Tumbling Dice. It's just not worth that extra money. Listen, I'm a family of 4. These day and age, man, $20 is a lot of money.
Well, okay. I mean,
Preacher
if we're going to go that route, then,
Trip to
then
McDonald's.
why, Dan, tell me about a game that you want to pick up that you couldn't replace the feeling of but with a game you already have on your shelf. If you're going to go that route, I mean, there's no reason to pick up any new games then.
Listen, I won't say that. It's just not for that price and delivered. There's always great new games. I mean, things that do new things. I mean, hey, Best Little Treehouse, that does some new things that I couldn't replace on my shelf.
Just okay.
No, I mean, no, but
Jason, is Jason paying you by the word at this point, or what?
No. Listen, what with an 11, even an 8 or an 11-year-old that's card drafting like that. In your hand card drafting, like a Seven Wonders card drafting. Name me another game that you could do that, and maybe there's more. Maybe I don't know. Because I'm not playing Seven Wonders with my 11-year-old.
You could.
I'm not playing Seven Wonders.
Agreed. I like it. I mean, I think I like Among the Stars. See, I got a Bonacore plug. Got a Bonacore plug in there for him.
Well, this is the only podcast he hasn't been on. So.
That's an Artipia. That's an Artipia one.
Yeah, but it's over here by Stronghold Games LLC.
Yeah, but did you see have you
That's
seen that
Stronghold Games from New Jersey. Makers of the fine game Kanban. Stronghold Games in stores near you.
And don't forget Rhiannon. Come on, Rhiannon.
Oh, well, Panamax, duh.
There you go, baby.
Rhiannon's Panamax itches.
Yep.
No,
it might still be in a sack, though.
Yeah, speaking of Artipia, though, have you seen that Project Elite, that game? That they're going to have a Kickstarter for, like, next month? It's going to have, that thing is just overproduced co-op craziness. I'm really looking forward. He's going to send me a copy to review. I'm really looking forward to checking that out.
What's it about?
I don't even know. It's a co-op space game. I mean, it's just like, but it looks absolutely amazing.
I thought it was about like Norse gods, like Voluspa from Stronghold Games. Stronghold Games in stores near you.
Voluspa didn't get enough interest. I like that game.
Cooperative play, dice rolling, grid movement, variable player powers. Project Elite. It got me. It had me at variable player powers.
I love variable player powers. I mean, just even the artwork and everything. It's just it's over the top, and it's Artipia. So I mean, and Konstantinos makes good stuff.
There's apparently a teaser trailer up on your. I'll put it in our chat. Not that it matters, but in case anybody wants to see it, I didn't look at it, but it looks good. Yeah, Blanche, you have to let us know.
I'm trying to think what else have I been playing, and then I'll let somebody else yammer for a little bit. I don't know. I just got done. I finally got a copy of God, I can't even think, Alchemy or whatever, and I finally played that. I don't know what I think about that one. As far as the app games that I've played, XCOM is much better, but I don't know.
I thought about caving and
played out
XCOM, but it sold out.
XCOM is just sold out? Like the print runs over, or what?
That's what they said.
Yep.
You're talking about
how many times you play XCOM this week?
Alchemist, sorry, whatever that game is from Czech Games. I can't think of it now. Yeah, the other app game. Why can't I think?
Yeah, Alchemist.
Yeah, that one. I don't know. I had kind of a meh response. What was that?
I think Anthony died.
He's gonna pull it out. Alchemist.
No.
I think Anthony's.
That was a box of dice.
His Muppets just took over the room.
Yeah. One day. No. Seth, what have you been playing?
Way to wait until I put food in my mouth and then ask me a question.
He does that on purpose.
Seth, what have you been playing?
Well, to continue the Scott Alms talk, I've been actually playing a lot of Tiny Epic Defenders lately.
And are you? That is a shush. That is a very polarizing game. What is your take on Tiny Epic Defenders?
Well,
Seth, as a game designer.
Well, I don't know. I didn't know it was so polarizing or controversial. The genre Solitaire by Committee is not my favorite type of game, but I've been playing it 2-player with my girlfriend a lot, and she likes it. We have a good time, so it's been pretty good. I don't know. I think I like it better with 2 players than I do than I would. I haven't really played it with more, so.
So Seth, this has got to be a pretty big year for you. Not only did you finally get a game published, but you also finally got a girlfriend.
Hey, somebody finally brought a respectable name to our little hangout. We gotta go easy on them.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
If I didn't talk to Seth like this, he'd wonder what was wrong with me.
I would. I might wonder where with real Lance Mixter was. So anyway, you asked about the design of Tiny Epic Defenders.
No, I mean, what's your take on it? You say you like it better 2-player than with 4. Is that just
well, I haven't
the downtime or what?
But with fewer players, you get more of those group ally cards, which is kind of cool. I like the way that the game sort of works with that deck and the extra enemies coming in the deck. I just think that's a really good idea. And I don't know, it's for a Solitaire by Committee game. I think it's.
Yeah. Hey, can you fix your blinds behind you? They're really bothering me, Seth.
Fix them.
All right. Since he's been chomping at the bit to talk for like the last half hour. Barry, what have you been playing?
Not much. I finally got XCOM.
Oh, I thought it was sold out.
I got it last week before. Yeah. I got mine was stuck in it with another pre-order, so it took a while to get here.
What else was it stuck with? What else? Sure.
Agents of Smurfs, and it's still stuck with that. I bought another copy, so I was going to give the other one away on the channel, but nice. I don't know how I feel about it. I only played it once, and it wasn't a great experience with the players I was playing with. I don't know how I feel about the rules set being on that app. You know, there's a couple questions I had playing it, and like there's a glossary of rules, but there's really nothing you can see specifically. You know, so I want to give it another shot before I make a conclusion about it.
I think somebody put a file up. I'm not sure if I remember correctly, but somebody did put something up there or whatever to like so if you just have a rule sheet instead of having to go do your whole thing there, like get on the app. Somebody posted a couple of files or whatever on the Board Game Geek, so that's something you can look into if you'd rather have a piece of paper in your hands than going through it.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm gonna give it another shot. One of the players I was playing with wasn't really too into it, so kind of killed it a little bit. But
oh god, there's nothing that sucks more than like if you're playing a game and like especially like a game where the theme actually kind of matters. And I'll say this: the XCOM app does a lot of work and like you having the sound and everything and getting people interested and whatever. But if you got one person that's just like checking their phone and wants to talk about a Doctor Who episode or something instead of actually like discussing playing the game, that bugs the hell out of me. It's like I understand you're there to play the game the way you're going to play the game, but at a certain point there's a social contract involved when you're sitting at the table. But what are you going to do?
That's why you should play games everyone wants to play.
Like games from Stronghold.
Games.
Yeah. And then last week I played Dune the Dice game. It's a print and play game at Beer Mongers. It's a pretty cool little game. Yeah, like the.
I've heard good
that.
things.
Yeah, Jamie printed it up.
What's really cool is like the Battlestar Galactica like Express or whatever. Like that was like it was a good enough game that obviously they couldn't make the game but then Stronghold Games picked it up and they're going to they rethemed it and they're going to be releasing it, which is kind of cool. And so maybe like theoretically, if the game is good enough, it'll be remade or what have you. I mean, it does stink that there's a lot of really good intellectual properties out there that just unfortunately just can't get stuff made out of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like The Thing, which is like just that game's awesome, but it'll never ever get made. Which also if I was a designer and I actually was like giving that game away for free, it's just crazy. That white box right here. Let's see if I can move right there. That white box right there. That's my copy of Thing right there. So I know you're all really interested. Dan, you gotta leave us soon. You're kind of like, what do you got going on that you gotta leave?
Oh, I always got to get up early in the morning. On the end of the week, I can get up early, and I can't be too behind. I'm playing in a charity hockey game this weekend. So played in the Carolina Hurricanes Fantasy Alumni game, which is all proceeds go to the Kids and Community Foundation. So if you're in the Raleigh area, yeah, I know, I love you too, Rhiannon. But if you're in the Raleigh area, come to the PNC Center. 1:30 on Sunday. I'll be playing against some of the greats like Rod Brindamore, Ron Francis, Glenn Wesley. They'll be out on the ice with us. Average Joe's playing some hockey. That's why
My Minnesota
can't.
Wild
I can't do. Right now. Yeah, they are on fire, by the way.
Oh my gosh!
How much money do you have to give to have Brindamore like board you?
Don't worry, I'm sure he probably would already. He's the nicest guy in the world too. I've talked to him quite a bit. I played in the very first one they did of this about 3 or 4 years ago. But my parents and my wife, since I turned 40 in about 2 weeks, my parents and my wife had gotten it for Christmas and my birthday this year to get me back on the ice and have some fun. But
it's all over. But no, I mean no. If I know Rhiannon doesn't want to talk hockey, but that's fine. But no, the Minnesota Wild they were just floundering, and then we trade nothing for a backup goalie, and now we just can't lose. So it's been awesome. I'm a big Minnesota hockey fan, so I just nobody else cares about hockey.
I definitely like a lot of I pull a little bit from Minnesota. I hated when they lost the North Stars. I was a big fan of the North Stars growing up. Anyway, last week we got to play a lot of fillers. Anybody want to talk about some kind of hipster, wacky fillers that Matt Wolf got us to play? We played some Boom Runaway.
Hey, I got my copy of Boom Runaway in the mail today.
Nice, man. Did you get it already? Did you break it out already? So good.
I read the rules and looked at it. I'm looking forward to playing. I'm going to play it tomorrow night.
Lots of fun.
And if it isn't any good, then I am going to
it's
be mad
crazy
at
good.
because she sold me on it.
It's really good.
It's
so
very fun.
It's a game.
Oh, shut up. No one asked you.
I got to play another cute filler. Have you ever heard of Rhiannon? Do you like fillers or cute fillers?
Well, define cute.
Well, I mean just cutesy art. Just because Boom Runaway is cutesy art. That's why I said. Because you like that, so I figured. Well, because it looks like Muppet Babies mixed with bombs, which is kind of cutesy.
I'm just being
Anyway, have you ever played Bluff'em Zoo? Have you played Bluff'em Zoo? Actually, really cool. It's kind of got it's a mixture of a card game and what is the Liar's Dice? Kind of Liar's Dice in a card game version where you're kind of going to the zoo and you're telling people how many animals you saw. And there's like 5 different animals. There's like a mouse, a rabbit, I can't remember. A few other there's an elephant and something else. And you have to say, oh, well, on my trip I saw 1 mouse. And then you either have to one-up them in size.
What kind of zoo is it that the mouse is a highlight?
Well,
the Fargo Zoo. Oh, I said that.
So you could either say, if you say I saw one mouse and you put a card face down, someone could say BS, and then you would have to see if you flip over a mouse, or they could put another card down and say, well, and then the next person could say BS, and then they would flip over the cards to see if you saw an elephant. And there's also wild cards. It equals the last thing you played, and there's numbers on the card from 1 to 3 to see how many of those animals you've played. There's also some action cards in there that kind of put a little twist in it. Really, really good filler game. I highly recommend it.
What's that called again?
It's called Bluffum Zoo. It's a weird spelling. It's like BLUFFIM Zoo.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of that. I don't know if it's from Japan or Korea. They've got all these wacky games this time of year where they come out. And of course, Matt Wolf got his hand on a bunch of those. So he played a bunch of little fillers.
Oh, it looks cute.
Yeah, it is. It's actually really fun. It takes a second to get used to, because if you don't know what the action cards do, you may need like a little cheat sheet because they can be a little confusing. But once you get a hand of it, we had a fun time playing it. Also, have you ever heard of Strike?
The STRYKE game?
No, Strike, like kind of like X in bowling. I think it's just an IKE. It might have an exclamation point. I want to say it's like Ravensburger or something. It's only like $10. It comes in a box. It's got this little kind of arena-looking thing and a bunch of dice. Now the dice are
yeah. I have that.
It's from 1 to 5 and an X. It's totally ridiculous. It's just a little dexterity game.
Kind of like
start with a couple of dice in there. All right. I'll go home now.
At least he's not plugging Kickstarters anymore. Come on.
All right, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Oh, Dan. No, don't go, Dan. Hey, I was actually going to talk about something else nerdy that wasn't about games, but I used to read tons and tons of comic books, and we've discussed comic books before here. But I actually, while driving around and listening to NPR, I heard an interview with Scott McCloud, who is a author slash illustrator of comics, and he had a new graphic novel called Sculptor, and he was talking about it, and it was about this basically this artist that is a sculptor, and he has a flash in the pan brilliance right away, and then he can't reclaim it, and so one day he makes a deal with death to become super successful or get the power to be like a really great sculptor again, but he only gets to live for 200 days if he does it, and so he takes the offer, and so I went out and got it, and it is brilliant, and you will, if you don't have a soul, then you won't cry when you read it. But it is extremely. Yeah, no, it is. If you like comics and you want to drop like $23, $24, you can get it through Amazon, or you can go to like Barnes and Noble or whatever, find it. And it's like $30, and it's hardcover, and it is stunningly good.
Apparently, whatever Kobo is, you can read it for $12.99. I don't know what that is.
I don't know either, but I mean, I know that I went to my my local game store / comic book store, and he had it on the shelf, and I snagged it, and I read it in one day, and yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah, it is. It's like, it seems like it could go in like such a really weird way, because he does get a superpower. He gets the ability to basically adjust matter by touching it, and so that he can sculpt really well instead of like using a chisel or anything like that. He's actually able to create whatever he wants, and just by touching it and thinking about it. But then life progresses to the point where it's all about, like, because he thought that he needed. I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but basically he thinks that, like, if he's going to leave a mark on the world, he's got to leave like a mark that says that, like, he was this absolutely brilliant artist, and that's how he wants to leave the world and be remembered by. And then he learns some life lessons along the way and tries to renegotiate his deal and so on and so forth. And so if you read comics and you want to just read something that's pretty, it's going to punch you in the gut when you read it, I'd strongly suggest it.
I'm still in the middle of Invincible because I apparently missed that one, so I'm trying to get caught up with that. I'll have to add Sculptor to my to list of what must-reads.
I am so jealous that you get to read Invincible right now, because Invincible was one of the best runs for a comic that I've ever read. It was just brilliant, and yeah, Kirkman did a great job with that, and that is like the quintessential young superhero good storyline.
Yeah,
So,
I got about a third of the way through it. I just really kind of fell in love with it as I was reading it. Couldn't put it down, and now I just have to find a time to get back to it.
yeah, and Paul Tompkins in our chat, he's actually mentioned that Scott McCloud, and thank you for reminding me, Scott McCloud actually did write an amazing. If you ever thought about like writing a comic book or being an artist or whatever, Scott McCloud wrote a book called Understanding Comics, and he actually goes through, and it isn't just like how comics work, but it's also just like telling you, it's like it's like when you're reading it, like what does it mean when a panel looks like this, or a panel breaks away, or and it's like it goes through like the history and a process, and that's a really good book as well by Scott McCloud. And sorry, if everyone else wants to talk about comics, feel free. But if you're not reading Saga, you're crazy. Cause
my wife started reading it and she couldn't take it.
She couldn't take it?
She didn't like the it was a little too adult for her, let's put it that way.
It does not just take like a Star Wars world and then put it in an NC-17 situations. I mean, it's very real. It doesn't shy away from from sex or violence.
Well, if you look at the image just on the wiki, it kind of says right there that it's probably has that adult feel to it. I won't name what it is for fear of getting in trouble.
Oh, I don't think. I mean, if it's the front cover of the graphic novel, it's an alien child that's breastfeeding. I mean, it's very tastefully done.
Yeah. This is on my list of things to read, actually.
Yeah, it is. And if I guess if you have a problem with I mean, we all it's like the vast majority of us when we were growing up, that's how we ate. So I don't think anybody can find that disturbing or disgusting in some way.
It is a filthy habit, actually, and I want to burn all of these. So I'm just kidding.
No, Saga is like the writer of Saga he said that he came up with the idea of the world when he was like 8 years old, and he started like writing down his ideas and for like this world of aliens, and the woman who illustrates it is fantastic. So if anybody's gonna have a problem, it's like, oh, it's just about sex and showing naked women and men or something like that. Well, it's like because it's a boy fantasy or whatever. Well, this is a woman doing the artistry for it. So I mean,
well, that's how I like my men and women is naked. So I'm gonna read this thing.
Well, it's so ridiculous because
is there any other way, Brianna?
No.
The one thing that they like, I guess like the one issue or whatever that like people had the biggest problem was they showed two men homosexual sex, and it was just like and people, and it's just like, but so that was like people's big problem because it was fairly graphic, and it was just like, and it wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just like I wasn't disturbed by it in any way, shape, or form, and it's just like if you're going to worry about the pictures, not the story, then you're kind of missing the point. So, thank you, Fiona Staples. Thank you, Paul, once again for jumping in. Fiona Staples is the artist, and she's considered to be one of the top 2 or 3 artists in comic bookdom right now.
So I wanted to get into a new book. So I just went on the internet and I just searched for like top comic books of the last year, and one of them caught my attention, so I started reading it. And it's Manifest Destiny. It's only been out about a year and a half, and this is the graphic novel. There's 2 or 3 volumes of this, and the whole premise is it's alternative history where Lewis and Clark go out to explore the West, and everybody believes that Lewis and Clark went out to discover the West and see what was beyond the Mississippi, but actually it was because they had heard of odd things that were going on, like monsters and spirits and demons that were going on beyond the West, and they were actually going to investigate that. It is like alternative history with mixture of Walking Dead and Western exploration. It's really good. So, Manifest Destiny.
I've never even heard of this. Thank you for telling me about that. I gotta check this out. This looks amazing.
I really enjoy it.
Is it like Monster of the Week X-Files style, or is it like?
No, it's not. No, it's not that way at all. And Sacagawea, is that her name? The Indian that they was their guide, Sacagawea.
Sacagawea, or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know what they call her down there in Charlotte, but the rest of us call her Sacagawea.
Yeah, whatever her name is. Sacagawea.
Wow. Now, okay.
No, but anyway, she is awesome. She's like this incredible fighter in here, and she's like an ultimate warrior. It is really good what they do with her character too.
I went to Lewis and Clark grade school, kindergarten through 5th grade.
Well, then you probably learned about this.
Yeah, without the monsters, but no. We were named after Lewis and Clark because they actually went through the Red River Valley of the North and stuff like that. So there you go. Also, I just found out that if you ever see. I think it's cool that comics have big long stories to tell and everything like that, but I think it's almost always better if you can to wait until they're done telling the story and then go out and pick up the whole thing, and so you can binge watch it or binge read it, if you will. I think that you can pick up the entire run of Planetary by Warren Ellis, which was absolutely amazing. In a big giant omnibus collection for $50. But then you have this awesome looking giant graphic novel that will entertain you and you can read. But as with board games and comic books, if you start going down that road, you're just going to end up spending lots of money. So be careful if you if you get a taste for it, if you will. But there you go. We have bored everybody except for Marty and Dan. Everybody else is just like.
Marty just
Well,
called
I'm
it
actually
$20.
looking up Saga and Amazon right now to buy.
What did you say, Keith?
Yeah. I said I'm taking your pudding cup away because you just cost me $20.
With Saga pickup, don't pick up Saga 1 pickup. There's a big Saga Volume 1. It's a big hardcover. And it'll
which
run
has
you
the close-up of the breastfeeding.
Yes, but that's Dan's leaving. Bye, Dan. See you later.
Sorry, guys. See you guys next week. Be well.
Take care, guy.
Thanks, Lance.
But
Love you, brother.
that one's the better one.
Well, that's issue 1 through 18, and it actually has a fairly definitive storyline that it'll tell you.
Okay.
So. Yeah, so if you're going to spend money, I would strongly suggest picking up Sculptor and Saga. And if you want to drop $50 and want to read something that's just incredibly out there, pick up the Planetary Omnibus edition. It's $47. That's just amazing. It's Warren Ellis. You can't go wrong with Warren Ellis. So, Seth, you got anything to add? You big comic book guy? You're just sitting there with your microphone off, looking at adult pictures.
Yeah, I didn't actually press mute. I thought maybe you had done that. I don't read a lot of comics. In fact, I read zero, so I don't have much to add there.
Why don't you read comics, man? Didn't you read them when you were growing up?
I never really read any comics, but somehow I knew who Wolverine and Nightcrawler were. I really Nightcrawler was my favorite because he could teleport, and teleporting is the coolest thing in the world. So I don't know how I knew who he was though, because I never read any comics.
Well, I don't know. Teleportation's a pretty good power if you had to pick a power, but I don't know. You're really gonna...
It's up there. It's my favorite, non-existent thing that I wish I could do.
Reading minds, I always thought would be good. Just you could.
If only if you could turn it off. I feel like that could backfire.
Yeah, haven't you seen that movie with Mel Gibson? Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Besides,
Scotland and what?
you can't read people's minds. You play a lot of games. You should be able to figure this out by now.
Well, mind control then. How about that?
Oh, well, control's different.
Yeah. And
You gotta go into marketing for that.
But if you weren't going to go into something that, like, I would always think that if you actually had a superpower, you would just, we would end up just being horrible human beings. I mean, just like, if you could control minds, you'd have people hand over their wallets. If you, or even worse things. If you, if you could teleport, you teleport into the bank vault and steal all the money. It's
why
just.
not you to teleport the money out? Don't be ridiculous.
Well, so you do that. You might do that at first, but then you get bored. You'd have to go find. There'd be a splurge, perhaps.
Like what happens in Megamind.
I fear that if I could teleport, I might get just like fat and lazy because I wouldn't walk anywhere.
What was it? I can't remember the line, but it was like if human beings could fly, we'd consider it exercise, and we wouldn't do it. It's just, I was like, that's actually pretty clever. There was a really good role-playing game, and it's still out. It's called Godlike, and it was.
Is that Mark Truman?
I don't remember. The book's over here, and I can't see it.
That's a lot of work. It's all the way over there. If only you could teleport.
Yeah. Only. But no.
Or you can mind control someone to get it for you.
Godlike is about it's about World War II, and it's like the idea is that like basically in 1938, inexplicably like people start showing up with superpowers, but they're kind of weird and tainted. They're not like true superpowers like we would think of, like I'm super strong. It's like they come with a price. So like there's this one guy who's like a spy. Because they have all these backstories of all these these godlike people is what they call them. He can turn invisible, but he has to close his eyes to do it. So
that's
so he's invisible, and he trains himself to be able to listen and figure out where he is and everything like that. But he can't see either. And so I mean, there's a guy that's like he's super strong and he's fairly invulnerable to bullets, but only when he's like screaming at the top of his lungs and cursing. So it's just like there's like these weird like little things that go along with what they can do, and it's actually pretty cool. I mean, because it's like it's a good role playing game because it's very war based and it has like a lot of the cool battles of World War II, and then they kind of presuppose now what if there were superheroes or people that had these abilities and they were involved, and it's an interesting role playing game. The problem with most role playing games, in my opinion, is that most of them have an excellent idea, but only the really good role playing games make it easy for somebody to create an adventure for them to put the people in, and so like sometimes you get kind of limited, with certain game systems. I remember like 20-some years ago when Steve Jackson Games had GURPS, which was the generic universal role-playing system. It was an excellent. It had great source books. It had great character creation. It was very, very involved. But from a game master point, it was tough to create everything that was needed because it was such an involved creation process for everything that you wanted to do. And whereas, like, when you play like Dungeons and Dragons, it's like, okay, you make your character, and now, okay, here's 10 orcs, and all the 10 orcs have +1 to hit, and they have 7 hit points, and they do 1d6 damage, and that's fine. Everybody's okay with that. So it's I don't know, it's a different. I can't imagine trying to be a designer of a role-playing game that wasn't called Dungeons and Dragons, or for that matter, Pathfinder. Unless you're one of the big ones.
I'm not a big role-playing gamer, but I feel like the way that it's gone lately is storytelling games. They're all these indie RPGs or whatever. They're like single session. You don't need a game master necessarily. There's a lot lighter on the preparation, and it's more about the storytelling. And they just have some sort of mechanics to like support that. Have you guys seen or played any of those? Fiasco being an obvious example. Our Last Best Hope being another example.
Someone just mentioned that.
Well, the weird thing that I found is that the actual like kind of old school game. I mean, the old school role-playing game just doesn't exist anymore. I mean, I remember back in the day when I played Dungeons and Dragons. It's like your characters died left and right. I mean, you'd run in like the first room of the dungeon, you'd run into a spider and it would bite you, and save versus poison. If you don't roll a 16 or better, you die. You know, it was just like, oh, well, my guy's dead. Okay, well, here's some six-sideds. Roll up another one. We'll find him in the next room. You know, and it's just like, oh, okay. And now it's like every game is all about this long creation process. So people get attached to the characters they create, and the idea of them dying is it's just not fathomable. You know, it's just not an option. So I don't know which is better.
Why do you know? Is it because people get more invested in the story and they have a better time when they care about their character?
Well, I mean, I could talk forever about role-playing games just because that's like where I come from. But I'm a big believer in there's like and I've said this before and I'll say this again. A role-playing game is a marvelous invention due to the fact that take a dungeon master, which I'm usually a dungeon master or game master when my group plays, and I have a story that I want to tell, and it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, just like any story. And I want to tell that full story. But now the players are going to take a role in there and go through the whole process and experience it. So they have an understanding that, okay, no matter what I do, no matter what happens, we're going to eventually tell this story. We're going to go through the beginning, we're going to get through the middle, we're going to get through the end. And maybe one or two of us will die, maybe not, but we're going to get through the whole thing. So, but it's kind of like, not to like quote the dear departed Terry Pratchett and his reference to death. It's just like he said that it's like only children and old people can see death, and that's because children don't scare him, and death have accepted him. Everybody in the middle just tries not to think about him as much as possible, so then they can't see him. So it's just like when you're playing a role-playing game, you don't think about the fact that, like, okay, well, we just know we're going to succeed. It's just kind of a given, but you're playing to experience it. I don't know. It's a weird situation. Whereas in a board game, you are there, and you're there for a really finite amount of time, and you're saying, okay, well, here we're going to sit down, we're going to set up this game, and we're going to play, and we're going to see who has the most points at the end. It's just a completely different experience. I don't know.
Wait a minute. Seth doesn't read comics, and he doesn't play role-playing games. Dude, you're totally messing up our stereotype.
And somehow it took him this long to finally get a girlfriend. So what were you doing that
that fits the stereotype.
Well, I know, it doesn't make any sense.
It's the
Has your house been broken into lately? I mean, it seemed like for a while your house was getting broken into like every other weekend.
So I did. I was robbed like twice, almost in a row, and a truck drove through my patio wall. And the most recent thing is somebody's been sneaking into my, I don't know, laundry room shed thing and stealing soap, laundry detergent. It's happened like 4 times now.
Well, they probably got a bubble problem that they're hooked on. So.
They're clean.
People use use laundry detergent as like currency in the streets. I'm like, really? That doesn't seem like a thing.
Are you buying expensive laundry detergent or?
No, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. That like barter is like, you can Google that. I mean, like weird barter is like coming back, and oddly it's for like, it's for drugs and stuff. It's like, it's like because 8 packs of Tide or whatever is roughly worth whatever, like $90 or something like that, and so $90 can buy you this much crystal meth or something like that. Because it's just theoretically useful for the person that's selling it.
The thing I was reading said it was talking about people were like raiding Targets and Walmarts in the detergent aisle in supermarkets and just stealing all the detergent. I don't know how someone decided that detergent was going to be the unit of currency, but
maybe you can make crystal meth with it now.
According to the articles, it wasn't for making drugs; they were literally trading it for drugs.
Yeah, I read an article about the exact same thing. It's just
where is this happening?
All over the country. I don't know, somewhere.
Yeah,
just
in your area.
But
so
I don't know
you're saying stupid clean drug dealers down there? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with it or what they're trading it for or whatever, but it's irritating.
There we
Stop washing your clothes,
go.
it'll be fine.
Just if you Google suds for drugs, Tide detergent works on tough stains, can also now be traded for crack.
Is there one brand more popular than the other?
Apparently Tide.
Tide's
If this
there.
article-
Okay.
I think Tide's $100 bill in the detergent.
Really? Wow.
Wow.
So
I don't know if that means I'm missing out or I'm looking right. I'm not entirely
the
sure.
red bottles or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you go.
Mind-boggling.
Here, you just thought it was cleaning your
I need to
your
teach high
clean
school
ways.
again. I would know all about this stuff, but I don't.
Let's see here. What was it? The call came in through local Safeway one day in March 2011. Yada yada yada. The grocery store, located in suburban Bowie, Maryland, had been robbed repeatedly, but in every incident, the only products taken were bottles. Many bottles of the liquid laundry detergent Tide. They were losing 10 to 15 grand a month. When Thompson and his officers arrived to investigate, they stumbled onto another apparent Tide theft in progress and busted two men who'd piled 100 or so of the bright orange jugs into their Honda. The next day, Thompson returned to the store parking lot to tape a television interview about the crime. A different adventurer took advantage of the distraction to make off with 20 more bottles. Yeah, just crazy stuff.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, whatever. It's like, Tide bottles have become ad hoc street currency, with a 150-ounce bottle going for either $5 cash or $10 of the weed or crack cocaine.
Yikes.
Yeah, so there you go. I bet Tide is happy.
They have quality products. They are the top of that chain. So, yeah.
So basically, Kirkland
That's when you know you've made
right out.
Yeah,
that's how you know you've made it. Yeah. When druggies just stealing your product to trade on the black market for weed.
Is it a particular scent? Is it the Sport Fresh scent? Is it the floral scent?
Is it the sport one?
I love the Sport one. The Sport one does wonders for sweaty boys. Let me just tell you that right now.
Does wonders for sweaty boys. That's going to go on your bottom third.
Oh my gosh.
All right, guys, I got to take off. I'm missing my other commitment here. So, thanks for having me.
Your other
It's a good
commitment,
talk.
what could be more important than this, Seth?
Just another episode. Don't worry about it.
Bunch of Canadians.
Yeah.
His online girlfriend from Niagara Falls. Well, Sam, thanks for jumping in, man. And it was cool that you just happened to be around. So
Yeah, normally I'm playing Frisbee right now, but it rained tonight and they got canceled. So.
Frisbee?
Ultimate Frisbee?
Ultimate Frisbee, yeah.
Wow.
So you don't read comics, you don't play RPGs, and you play sports. How would you even get
It's
into
not
this hobby?
really a sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a nerdy sport. It's
Yeah, it is
whatever.
for highbrow, like college sport, not like
I thought Ultimate Frisbee was an excuse to do drugs.
kind of is,
Well,
but
bring
That's
that
hacky sack.
there's a small percentage of us that actually like throwing frisbees and stuff, running around.
Is that code?
Mhm.
You gonna go get with
We're
your
gonna
friends
throw
and go
frisbees
throw some
tonight.
frisbee?
It's really not. All right, guys.
All right, well, Zach, it was really good to talk to you. And say hi to Michael for me, okay?
I'll do that. I'll see him tomorrow. So
All right, and everybody, get ready to see in Microcosm in your local game store.
yeah, coming soon. And watch out for the Battlecruiser / Exotica Kickstarter coming soon.
Hey, I was going to ask you, whatever happened to that Crusaders design you were making?
Oh, it's so for those who aren't just Lance. I'm working on a game about Crusaders, and it's almost done. And I was just playing it a little bit with the team of you guys last weekend, and we're thinking about all kinds of crazy, like, unique player power type stuff to add to it, because everyone seems to like that. So,
shoot me the newest copy of the rules if you don't mind. I'd like to read them.
All right, we'll do that.
All right, thanks.
All right, man. See you guys.
Right.
Bye.
Take care, my friend.
Well, thank goodness.
Oh yeah. No. All right, cool. So, Rhiannon, you traveled down to hang out with your family in Florida for a while.
I did.
You played a lot of games with your family down there?
Yeah, we were only supposed to have one game night, and then we ended up having 2 more game nights, so that was exciting stuff. And I finally got to teach them Mysterium, because I got them Mysterium for Christmas, and even though I sent the English rules with them, they didn't bother to read it. But yeah, we played that like a lot, like at least 5 times.
Was it Mysterium, or was it the Polish game called, Anthony?
Tajemnicze Domostwo?
That one. It was that one.
I'm gonna be so sad when the actual like Mysterium game comes out, and I can't call upon Anthony.
Well, you still have to ask people what version they have. It'll still work.
I'm going to have both versions because they're doing.
Are you
different
really?
art.
You would.
Well, if they're doing different art, there's no reason not to have both versions. That's all. It's just an expansion.
Get the new
Just
version
new cards.
for the. Yeah, but you need to get the ghost board that holds all the cards.
Yeah, they got like
Because
a
just putting them in the middle of a table is so difficult.
It is.
Does it? Are they doing like a DM screen for that? I think
That's what they need.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
they're
they
doing
are.
that.
I saw where Cryptozoic was publishing Spyfall, second quarter.
Yeah. Yup.
That's cool.
It's still like
they're not
1,000 hours
articulating it.
away. It's so far away. I mean, I don't know. I'll be the first in line to pre-order, but still.
It'll be out before 2 Rooms in the Boom.
What is up with that?
It's been at every convention I've been to, so
I know.
It's so long. What is it? Like a deck of cards?
Everywhere you go, everybody's playing it, but nobody has a copy of it.
Yeah, I thought it was already published.
Nope.
And the thing is that you can still like pre-order it through their website. They're still taking money for it, and which fine. I mean, theoretically, it's going to come out eventually, right? But I don't know.
Yeah,
nothing. I got nothing.
Nah.
Well, it's just I don't know. I've heard conflicting stories. I've heard that the person the person in charge of the project is like being a bit of a like control freak about it, like just trying to make sure that they it doesn't I don't know what the word I'm looking for here, but like making sure every single thing is perfect and what have you, and making sure that it doesn't it fits whatever process they're trying to do. And
For 2 Rooms and a Boom?
Yeah.
Isn't it just cards and like rolls?
Yes.
Like, you're the president. You're the spy. You're the cupcake baker. Like,
I don't know.
what could they possibly need to do?
Well, because what happened was when they kickstarted it, they made this outrageous amount of money and added all of these extra add-ons and packs to it.
Oh.
So that's not all working.
Well, repeat that, Anthony. I'm sorry. What did you say?
All right, so they added on a lot of extra roles that weren't in the game. Like there's the Leprechaun. You are Who Cares? You are the Whatever Man. You are. Well, I'm on their page right now. You are the Anarchist. You are the Minion. You are the Robot. You are the Mummy. You are the Traveler. There are all these extra roles they added in there, which I don't think were originally designed for the game. I don't think they would have thought they'd make $102,000 on a $10,000 goal. So they went and added all this stuff in, and that's probably one of the reasons why they're having all these issues now, and why they're, making sure that everything is the way they exactly want it to be. But yeah, they kind of like shot themselves in the foot.
This kind of stuff irritates me because I feel like the sad news from today is Kickstarter related, and that kind of stuff's happening. Like, oh, we just made too much promises, and we're going to just delay it ad infinitum because, sorry, Asware, Fifth Street Games, and that whole fiasco. Anybody else have thoughts on that?
I don't know. Just nothing surprises me about Kickstarter anymore. It's, and then you have to remember that 99% of it is they run their stuff as well as they can and as efficiently as they can, and then there's just that weird 1 out of 100 that just seem to have their heads crammed from way up their posteriors. So, but whatever. Then again, who? What do I know? I mean, I've never tried to create anything, so I mean, I've never run a Kickstarter, so I mean, it is what it is. Who's? Do we have a Kickstarter right now that they've backed that they're annoyed with? They want to clear the air.
No.
I don't say it out loud. I'm not going to do it.
Not that I've backed.
Not. Supposedly, like I said, a few copies of Catalica have actually, or Catalica or whatever, that from the person that may not be of sound mind that created, or have actually reached people that back the game. So, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then I envy you because you can read the whole crazy backstory.
Hey, Lance, can you fire off Aldi a invite?
Already did, my friend. I saw them. They're yammering. But no, if you guys know what game I'm talking about, it was like Catalica, or it was Katallyka.
No.
Look that game up in the old. Check out that game in the old Board Game Geek database, and then go check out the Kickstarter. The person that created the game, at one point they were actually saying things like try to get something done today, but the sun was preventing me from logging into my computer, and the naval base is using their radar to read my thoughts, and it was good stuff. I mean, it was pretty crazy things to read about. And we're joined by none other than Mr. Board Game Geek himself, Scott Alden.
Hey, all.
Good evening, Scott. What you been playing lately?
Wednesday night is the night for live shows. I just did the 100th show of Nerd Nighters.
Wow. They're way cooler than us. So.
Everybody's cool. By the way, I don't have my headphones plugged in, so if I'm feeding back, let me know. It might.
Nothing bad yet.
Pretty good, but Mike, so who knows? What have you
been playing lately?
Oh, I played on Friday night. I played Orleans.
How is it?
It's a solid Euro game. I don't know if it'll be a favorite, but it's good.
I didn't catch the name.
Orleans.
Oh yeah, I've already played that.
Orleans.
It's called Orleans.
I know.
It's supposed to be called.
I wanted to try to pronounce it correctly. I'm probably not pronouncing it.
When I brought that with me to Con of the North back in February, and I was playing it, I had more than a few people. It's Orleans or whatever it was. They just a couple of people were very upset. I think they might have been French Canadian though. So, but that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was a solid game. I mean, it'll do well, I think, and I don't know if I would choose to play it. Like, it wouldn't be my first pick, but it's good.
It's a very fun game. I think there's a couple of buildings that are a little bit too powerful.
Yeah, I think the guy who got the cloth making one was like just killed us.
There's one that actually allows you to like redraw. There's one that I forget what it is. It's like you use a farmer on it or something like that, and then you get to take, I think, 3 extra workers out of your bag, and then you got to return 1, and then you use 2 of them immediately. Well, it's the only one like it. So I think it's a little bit too powerful. Maybe that's just my gut feeling about it. So.
Right. I also played Innovation for the first time. I had never played that before.
The game that you worry too much about your engine and not worry enough about winning.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to give it another go.
Did you do the original or the yellow version?
Just plain vanilla Innovation. Yeah.
I think only the second expansion or the first expansion for that was worth getting. After that, it went the same way that a lot of card games go. It's just like, oh, here's another 27 new cards we thought of, and that weren't good enough for the first game in the first place, but now we know we can get you to pay $25 for it, so we're going to add them.
Do the expansions add more types of cards, or like change the mechanics at all?
The first one is like, I guess the best way to describe it would be, in my opinion, it's Dominion Intrigue to Dominion as Echoes or whatever. The first expansion is the Innovation. That'd be my definition.
I had a good time with it. It was fun. It was crazy. Wacky craziness ensued. And I think I was like one step away from nuking the entire board. The physics, I forget what the card is, but it's in basically like nuclear fission or something like that. It just blows everything up.
Yeah, why did it take so long to play a game that's been out for like 4 years?
I don't know. It's one of those things. It just never came around. It never came into my sphere of playing it. It's impossible to play all the games, man.
Then why do you try to buy all of them?
Well, I'd run out of convention. I need... At least that's what I keep telling myself. It's for the business. But most of the games are not in my house. I have a collection here at the house, but it's everything else is down in airplane hangar, actually.
You own an airplane hangar? Yeah.
No, where do you keep the jet?
Yeah.
It's currently not occupied by a plane.
Can we have the address of this?
Think of it as a bar. It's not like what you think of an airplane hangar. It's like a barn.
Where is this barn?
I can't tell you that. It's an hour out of Dallas.
Let me get my little map out, draw a little circle thing with some yard.
Mike's got Google Earth up. He's looking for it.
We actually had the insurance company come out and take a look at it.
Did they look and say, that's a lot of cardboard? Nope.
Yeah, they're like, where's all the fuel? Like, that was the biggest question. Where's all the flammables is where they were most concerned.
Well, okay, just out of curiosity, how many games do you think are in that warehouse? If you had to guess.
Oh, I know exactly how many there are. We have. I'm going to look it up.
Well, I just give me a rough guess. I don't need a.
So we can only put 5,000 games on shelves. That we have 30 shelves that carry 5,000 games that we transport, right? And there's 1,800 games, or around, I think it's actually 2,000 now, in storage cases, like bins. And I'm not really sure what to do with them. I think I'm probably going to do another charity auction like we did at BGG-Con last year, to make some money for charity.
That's usually what charity auctions do.
Sorry, I'm talking through my thoughts. But we did a charity auction last BGG-Con, and we raised $10,000. It was actually 11, I think, is what it kind of total came out to be. So now those were some really rare games that I had pulled. I may have to up the quantity to get to 10,000 again, because there was a couple. We did a Star Wars Epic Duels, which I think went for over 200, and we auctioned off my Crokinole board, which I actually won it back. So that was kind of a funny thing. We gave away a Crokinole board last year to a guy who didn't want it, but he didn't tell me till mid-year. And I said, well, if you want to put it in a charity auction. Well, I comped his badge basically for BGGCon. And then in the auction, I won it back because it was one of my favorites, and I was kind of like toying with the idea of not actually giving it as a prize. But I don't need 10 Crokinole boards. I'm trying to get rid of them, actually. But this one had a really special design on it that I loved, so I bought it back.
Now, how do you decide what to cycle out, Scott, out of the collection there?
Oh, it's pretty mechanical. It's basically, we have all the library statistics, so if it hadn't been checked out in 3 years, we pull it. Unless it's like kind of got sentimental value for somebody, either me or someone who's working in the library. Very few, maybe like 10 games got put back from the 2000 we pulled. We did a poll as well to let people we basically took the top 10 most voted on games to put back in the library. But yeah, there's some prizes that if you want to look at it, what's not in the library, under the username BGG Storage, BGG Space Storage, you can see everything that's in the bins.
Okay, so Scott, I need you to concentrate on this thing swinging back and forth. Just keep looking at it, listening to the sound of my voice.
Oh my gosh, whatever you want. Everything.
So how close is BGGCon to selling out?
It's real close.
80%.
Very surprising. We're right now at. I'm going to give you a live update. So it's 2,400 tickets that we have. We lowered it down by 100 this year because we felt last year was a little too crowded. And 100 tickets is like 30 tables, so that should free up some space. And it's very slow. Hold on a second. But it's going to sell out in a week. I mean, it's right now. Okay, it's at 2018 of 2,400. So whatever that is.
Well, everyone who matters in this group is already going, right? We've all registered.
I better go register real quick.
Have you not registered yet, Marty?
I have not.
What the heck?
I'm doing it right.
Marty, I have to beat you in diamonds again. This is unacceptable.
And it's one of the best things to do anyway, because if you can't go, there's like a waiting list a mile long of people that want to attend.
Yeah.
So it's like
85% full.
Oh, okay. I'm live registering right now.
Exhilarating.
Yeah, it's been weird this year. Like last year, it took about 2 months to sell out.
Scott, go in and say it's full. Like deny it.
Stop it! I'm typing fast.
Cancel his.
Oh, the Wendigo's there. Hi, Wendigo.
Oh, it's sold out. Sorry, too late, Marty. Oh.
Well, I'm gonna go since I don't matter. So good night.
I was waiting for you to say something.
I think I'm a little late.
Rhiannon, he's late. You want to insult me again?
Insult you again?
So
I don't need an excuse, but sure.
Is there anyone in this? Oh, look who decided to look who's slumming. Well, I was talking about you, Johnny. I was talking about Joel, Mr.
Hey!
The Sasquatch is slumming again. But no, here I decided you guys probably don't know who John Rod is. If you don't, you should. John is like a really good friend of mine, and he's a board game publisher. And he said he wanted to join us and talk some nights, and so here he is. Hey, John.
Hi.
Where's your little boy?
He's in the bedroom sleeping. Oh my gosh, I miss him so much. We have a 3.5-month-old for those of you who.
I figured he was young. I was like, this must be a little baby.
Oh, he's
in first child
for his size, but yeah, he's a little baby.
All right. Well, since you're on, John, why don't you take the floor for like 2 minutes and talk about your game and also your dice that you got going on right now.
Okay. Sure. Short version, because I got 2 minutes. Is
no, you got more than 2 minutes, but go ahead, just talk. I wanted you to get a chance to talk about your stuff.
Oh, thanks. So I invented a tower defense board game. Short version is I made it for a bunch of my friends as a mini game during our D&D game that I've been running for them for like who knows how long. And in the course of playing it as a mini game, we revamped it a bunch of times, and my friends eventually said, "You need to publish this," and I took them seriously, so I did. And so it's been awesome. Lance has reviewed it for me. He likes it. Just cool beans. It's awesome. I got parts today. I'm excited. When these people show up, I get really stoked. So they showed up, and they sent me new towers. So these are like the fancy like 3D towers and stuff. Obviously, they don't have the art printed on them, but that's how they work. So we've been working for like 3 or 4 months to get the tower mold correct, and we finally got it right this time, so we can officially start printing, which is pretty exciting. For the King's Armory, the dice that he's talking about was I promised my backers, is Kickstarter, everything's Kickstarter these days, I promised our backers that we would include 2-tone dice, and I pictured like ChessX dice, like the swirly thing that we all like, but I contacted ChessX and Dice.co.uk and Q Workshop and everybody else, and nobody was able to or willing to produce them. Either our quantity was too small, or it was like way too expensive for our budget and things like that. So we invented our own, and I have 1 remaining sample. Lance had the other ones and just mailed them out. So they're halvesies dice. They're cut literally in half. Instead of being swirled, it's just a half and half design. They're pearlescent. It's probably not coming in real clear. But yeah, they're awesome. They're on Kickstarter right now, and for like a couple more hours, we're giving away free sets. So if you guys are into collecting dice, it is live, and we are doing free sets. It's a St. Patrick's Day thing, which also relates to my son. We found out about my son. We took the pregnancy test on St. Patrick's Day last year. So yesterday, to celebrate that whole thing, we added a tier where we're giving away free dice for a while. So that's my game, the King's Armory and halvesies dice.
And on a personal note, you will never meet a nicer guy than John in your entire life. So just
except maybe Lance.
Thank you, brother. But no, I mean seriously, John is he when I told him about my daughter's in Taekwondo, and she's been having some difficulties getting past. She was having some difficulties getting past her orange belt test, and he gave me some advice to give her, and it worked great. She now broke her first board finally. She's got a lot of confidence, and so she's super excited about it, and just I don't know. I meet a lot of people in the industry, and like all the people that are in here right now are people that I care a great deal about, and John he contacted me out of nowhere and asked me if I'd be interested in reviewing King's Armory, and now I got a friend for life, so it's pretty cool.
The funny thing is, apparently Lance, when people contact him for reviews, he gives them his phone number and says, "Hey, you can call me and talk about it." So I was like, all right, I'll call you and talk about it. That seems like the intelligent thing to do. And he told me that I'm like the only person that ever called him. He reviews hundreds and hundreds of games, but nobody ever calls him. And I was like, why wouldn't you call? Like, that's just cool. If nothing else, just freaking call somebody and say hi. But apparently I'm the only one, so I got to be his friend.
I'm a left shark in a right shark world, so you know how it is.
I have no idea what that means.
It's probably better that you don't. but no, apparently Scott backed it. Did you back the dice, or did you back King's Armory, Scott, or both?
I think I backed both. Let me double check. I know I backed halvesies.
Yeah, they really are beautiful.
Yeah, you backed Scott. Scott backed the King's Armory twice.
Oh yeah, I did.
And I got to thank you in person at Gen Con.
Right.
He was filming. I slipped him a card. I don't even know if he remembers or read it, but I thanked you in person at Gen Con.
Remember that?
My and this is I'm gonna be like making fun of Scott here a little bit, but that's okay because I'd like to think that he's so I wandered over and I was talking to him at the Board Game Geek spot at Gen Con. And he said, "Oh, hey, it's like I finally got a break, and I like kind of actually like walking the floor." And he's like, "You want to walk with me and go check out some games?" I was like, "Yeah, that's cool. So let's just walk around and BS about stuff." And Scott started, he knows where I'm going. So we kind of walked for a little bit, and then I don't know who these guys were. They were obviously friends that had known Scott for a while, and they walked up and they started talking or whatever. And so I was like, and they're sitting there, and so like I didn't really. They introduced him, and I just shook hands and whatever. They weren't there to talk to me. They're there to talk to Scott, and that's cool. I don't really care. And so I don't even know what booth we're at, and I started like, oh, they're talking about something. I have no idea what they're talking about. So I turned around, and I started looking at this game, kind of messing with it. I looked back, they're just gone.
Oh, I was looking for you. I think we went to
like, oh, apparently,
yeah.
It's
hard for me to walk around.
It was.
It's tough. I mean, I'm sorry.
I know. It was. No. I took no offense at all. I just thought it was funny. I sat there by the cool mini or not booth and just sat there giggling to myself about it, and then went and checked out, went and begged a review copy from somebody off in some corner of the place somewhere.
Hey, somebody just asked in a little text blurb, what's the link for the Havesies dice? And I don't know how to jam a little text blurb. How do I do that?
Well, you go there and you copy it.
Come on, John, you're a publisher now. You should know how to do these things.
I know. Well, this is how you learn, right? Everybody's got to learn to walk.
This call has cost me $125 so far.
Right. Okay.
No, I mean, so Joel, what did your real friends say? Want to hang out with you tonight, or what's going on? Why are you?
I was watching the Boise State game. They were playing in the play-in game, and they lost by a point. They threw the ball away at the end, so hence the lower third.
Oh.
At least it was a good game.
Yeah, well, sort of. They had a good lead there.
Doesn't matter how close it is.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on one second. Hold on a second. Hey, Barry.
Yes.
Be quiet.
Okay.
That actually started now, I guess.
Look, people might not believe this, but Barry actually has a podcast where he talks a lot. But it's tough to believe.
Yes, that's usually my talking limit for the week when I do with a video.
Yeah, well, I caught up on a couple of your episodes.
Thanks for joining me.
Well, John, have you played any games recently before we let the Sasquatch talk about whatever it is that he's been doing?
The most recent new game that I played, I was really excited to play it's not a shameful plug for my own game, but I was actually really excited to play the King's Armory again the other day. We haven't played in like 2 months because we've been doing so much other stuff, and we got a manufacturer copy, so like the puzzle pieces actually work, so the board assembles. But before that was Prince of Israel? Kings of Israel. It's another guy named Lance with Fun Hill Games or Fun Again Games or something like that. Kickstarter game. It was fun. It's a pandemic clone, but it's good. Yeah, that's it.
Good stuff.
That's my glorious answer. I'd recommend it if you like Pandemic. I feel like it's smoother. I feel like it's a little bit more interesting. It's a lot less like, I don't know, I could say it's a lot less End of the World, but it's the End of Israel instead. I don't really know, but a little brighter. I like a game that's a little bit brighter. I'm still trying to figure out.
All right, Sasquatch. Okay, go ahead, John. Sorry.
Wait, what?
Go ahead, John. Never mind. You're not talking apparently. All right, Sasquatch, dazzle us. What have you been doing lately?
Dazzle you? I can't dazzle you. Let's see. I did a Twitch last night for Eldritch Horror. That went pretty well. I'm finding my limitations and limits and hardware and software and all that stuff. So that's been fun to kind of figure out. To try to make that good. Doesn't always work out, but so I did that. And what have I been playing lately? I don't know. Cthulhu Wars. I played Trains 2-player the other day. That was fun. I hadn't had a chance to play with the new 2-player maps, which makes it a lot better. I played a card game. I didn't really like it. It's what's it called? Fidelitas or something? I didn't really like that one, unfortunately. I wanted to like it. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
I think that's right.
That sounds right.
Yeah. I hope to play the Argent Consortium tomorrow. I gave it to a friend of mine to learn so he can teach it.
Yeah, I've been wanting to try that one too.
I played that last week.
That's
How many
actually
are you playing with?
That's a really good game.
You need
is
a
really
big
good
table.
game.
Yeah.
Big table.
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. But that is a very good game. Argent is.
Marty, how many did you play with?
Played with 4.
How was it?
It was good, but I swear the table was just insane. But it was one of those things that I need to play again because it's not like you're all shooting towards just one goal. You don't know what your goal is until you start flipping over the agents to see what you need to do. And then it's like you're trying to do multiple things at the same time. It was kind of hard to wrap my mind around, but that's not saying a lot.
Truth.
But I enjoyed it.
Marty, how long is the rec center open, by the way?
Well, the nurse just came
Yeah,
by.
really
And
got there.
I need to wrap up in about 5 minutes. So
No pudding tonight.
I got one that's fun.
No
I played
pudding.
Dragon's Gold a bunch last week. That was actually pretty fun. We had a good time with that at lunch.
So
What's your game?
Dragon's Gold. It's a reprint, Bruno Fiduti game, and they just reprinted
Oh,
it.
yeah, that is a good game.
Yeah, it's pretty
Did
fun.
they take the cheater
You can
card out
play
of
it in negotiation style, like Cosmic Encounter kind of thing, or you can do this whole like piece of cake thing where you divide the pie and everybody does it, and if you want to be quiet. So it's pretty cool.
Did they take the cheater card out?
Yeah. They take the what out?
The cheating card, the cheater card.
No, that's still in there. We have one guy in my lunch
card
group
allowed you to.
Yeah,
we
let's
have to take it out for.
it's a Bruto Fiduti card, right?
Yeah.
It's the silken glove.
Hey, don't you knock the Fiduti.
No, I mean, it's like you play this game that's semi-serious actually,
Yeah.
and then there's a card that lets you steal. If you're not caught, you get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is we have a guy in my group
kind of
that knows the cards in there, so he'll try to steal anyway. So in the lunch, not in my game group, but in my lunch group they're in.
The silken glove. That sounds like something the nurse tries on Marty later.
and that's the doctor with the big fingers.
So Joel, who threw up on that painting behind you?
What? Oh, that thing?
The painting. Who threw up on that, by the way?
I did. That's mine.
The Sasquatch original.
Seriously, you painted that yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Lost a friend.
No, I'll just get a text that says "F you," like, and that'll be the end of that. Well, I don't know. Shoot, guys. I mean, it's just like, we've talked about all kinds of stuff. Anybody seen any movies or TV shows they want to talk about lately? Nothing.
Flash was awesome.
I watched The Flash.
Flash was awesome last night.
Better Call
Flash
Saul.
is doing really well. When I first saw the previews and stuff for it, I was like, but it's turned out an awful lot better than like the previews and stuff have led on.
I agree.
Has anybody checked out Powers on the PlayStation? Watch that. I can't figure out how I'm supposed to be able to watch it. Powers was a really, really, really good comic book. Like stunningly good. And then they got the guy from District 9 playing the part of the cop I'm totally but it's like the PlayStation Network has the episodes, and I'm a PS Plus person and everything. I don't know. I haven't figured out how to watch them. I'm really interested in watching Powers.
Probably like an app or something.
Yeah, the premise of Powers, the comic book, and I have no idea if the show takes this, is that basically a world full of superheroes, just like anything else, like a normal one, but you have a cop. You have these two cops basically that have to solve crimes and stuff in the world of superheroes, and one of the cops, the dude, he had superpowers at one time, but he lost them. and so he's friends with all these heroes. I mean, they're all like, oh, hey, how's it going? And they know who he is, but they all kind of feel sorry for him, and they just they're awkward around him because he doesn't fly and doesn't have super strength or anything anymore. So I don't know. So if you wanna check out a good comic book, you can pick up like the Powers Omnibus, like the whole series, for a chunk of cash, but it's really good.
Talking about movies, I went and saw Kingsman for the second time this past weekend.
Oh, I haven't got to see that yet. Oh.
That is a fun movie.
Yeah, it was.
Just a fun movie. And I won't spoil it, but there is one fight scene in there that just absolutely blows my mind. If you've seen it, you know which one it is. But
well, you keep going on and on. About that it's like the best one take. Fight scene or something.
Not a one take. It's not a one take. It's just a really well choreographed, well done fight scene. The best one take is the one that you sent the link to from The Protector.
The Protector, Tony Jaa. Oh my gosh.
That's the best one take fight scene I've ever seen.
That is like 10 minutes of insanity, and it's just that's just crazy.
Have you seen John Wick?
Yeah.
I haven't. Is it good?
I really liked it. I thought it was really good.
John Wick is a crazy movie, and I think Aldi might be able to back me up on this. It's a weird world. It's like there's this world of hitmen, that just basically walk around, and so it's set in reality, but it's not. It's like you kind of get a glimpse into that world of like all these people that basically are contract
There's
killers.
definitely an underworld, yeah.
Yeah,
and then
John Wick is just total revenge movie. It's a great revenge movie.
It's very, very satisfying.
That was Dog. That's just
yes. Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
The first 4 minutes of the movie, Lance.
You're an animal lover.
But yeah, no. I mean, well, this is something I've always said. It's like you go and you watch any movie where there's a bad guy. Okay, you see the bad guy, and they always have him chewing the scenery and just show him how bad he really can be, And he can beat up on innocent people, and he can kill the hero's best friend, and he can even kill the hero's girlfriend or wife. And you're like, oh, you're gonna get yours. Mm-hmm. But if they have him kill the hero's dog, you're like the entire audience is like, oh, it's on. And it's and the dog is always usually trying to protect him or growling when they see him and he's like, yeah, whatever, and shoots the dog, and you hear that dog, and you're like, oh, he has to die, and he has to die spectacularly, just incredibly painful, and the hero gets to say some pithy response or whatever before he offs him as well, and so when they give you that build up of tension and the release, for the ultimate revenge moment, so
it's fair. But if I have to watch Keanu Reeves for that long, I'm gonna go back to the Matrix one again. I did.
He's as good.
I was like, all right.
As the Matrix for sure.
Yeah.
He's good in this movie. I believe me.
Here's my nerd badge. I hate the Matrix.
Well, most people that say they hate the Matrix is because they had 2 sequels.
Correct.
Yeah, the Matrix one.
It's
I didn't watch any of the sequels. I only watched the first one.
Oh, really?
Smart man.
Yeah, people hate because I like the second and the third one. I'll be honest.
There are moments that are good.
You have to take your willing suspension of disbelief to the next level to accept it, but they're fun moments.
Well, I was in the probably minority camp. I'm like, if I'm the guy in the tub hooked up to stuff, dreaming and being happy in this screwed up world, leave me plugged in the tank.
Yeah.
I don't think you're alone, man. A lot of people like the tank.
Well, if rumors are to be believed, they offered the role of the architect to Sean Connery, and he turned it down. The guy, because he didn't understand it.
What's up, Mumbo Jumbo?
Yeah, and so he didn't understand what it was about. And he couldn't understand the role that they wanted him to play, so he decided not to do it. But if that's true. Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. I mean, it's just like the thing about the third Matrix movie is you're just sitting there and you're watching it, and you're just kind of like, okay, when did we go Dragon Ball Z with the combat? And the second, and then you're sitting there and it's just like the hammering over your head of the Jesus Christ symbology of Keanu Reeves being the chosen one and basically being crucified as he floats away. You're just like, okay, I get it. Okay, he's supposed to be a Christ-like figure at the end. Just quit hitting me over the head with it. It just it got a little bit a little too intense for me as far as either dumbing it down or just having to push it in my face constantly. So there you go.
Has everyone seen Interstellar?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, everybody loved it, but I haven't seen it.
I did not love it. But I might be in the minority here.
I am like the biggest Christopher Nolan apologist, and even I was saying this movie could have been a half hour shorter. I was just like, there's so much you could have left behind on Interstellar.
Don't ruin too much.
No, I won't. I won't. But if you are a dad, and especially if you are a dad with a daughter, that movie doesn't play fair with your emotions. So I won't watch it again for that reason alone. It's just like, oh yeah, great. Just like, yeah, it's like something really dusty in the movie theater right now. I just like, yeah.
Oh man, I didn't get anything.
What do you guys think about Lucy?
I haven't seen it.
Didn't see it.
Oh, that's the one with what's her face being all sexy and walking around.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like the penultimate acid trip of our current year. I'll ruin it for you if you want my 30-second version of it.
It was such a it was like I've seen this movie before when I don't know, I hate when movies fall back in that weird diatribe of human beings only use 10% of their brain. No, first of all, that's not true, and I hate when like you have these people that are like they're playing roles of neurosurgeons and like these big giant research scientists, and they're actually saying that and quoting that, which just drives you crazy. And then the other thing about it is it's just like, how many movies are we going to have about like either a drug or a procedure or something that untaps this unlimited potential of the human mind? It seems like there's been like at least 1 or 2 movies of that every single year.
Yeah, but Lance, this is the only movie that claims that the pinnacle of human evolution is to us all eventually evolve to a supercomputer.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. The pinnacle of human evolution is to become a supercomputer.
It did. It was a little bit weird. I mean,
that was weird. I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. The little mental trip that they take you on, the little path that they lead you down as an experiment of thought, brilliant. But it's insane.
That's a Luc Besson movie. Director.
You know what?
Fifth Element.
Yeah. But actually, what was it? Scarlett Johansson was in a movie called, I think it's called Beneath the Skin. That is a screwed up movie. And if you want to watch a movie about that, is like, I would strongly suggest checking that one out. It came out last year or early this year. I can't remember. But that is a. And I actually have. What is it? What are you holding up?
So did you guys already talk about this?
Yeah, we talked about the Saga. Yeah.
Movie posters today.
That's on my desk.
Yeah, the other thing that I would suggest is, I'm trying to think of movies. Oh, have you seen the trailer for the movie It Follows? That is going to be a very good scary movie. I've seen it because I have weird connections. But basically, the premise is that this girl goes and meets this guy. They have a one-night stand, and the guy says she wakes up and she's like tied to this chair in the middle of nowhere, and she's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I'm going to tell you a story, and you're not going to believe me, but it's true. But I'm going to let you go. I'm not going to hurt you." And then he tells her that. He passed onto her a curse that now she's going to be followed by this supernatural entity that wants to kill her. and the only way that she can get rid of it is if she has sex with somebody else, and then she'll pass it on to that person.
That movie is against everything I stand for in life.
but here's the trick: if you don't pass it on to the right person, if the creature or whatever it is tracks down and kills the person, after they kill that person, they go on to the next person, the last person that had it before that one. You have to make sure you pass it on to somebody you think will be able to, like, either one, be willing to pass on this death curse to somebody else, or is good at running. Because basically the entire movie is about her trying to escape. Because
the movie's about chlamydia.
So a really bad case of it. But check out the trailer for It Follows. It is a very, if you're into scary movies.
Did anybody see the trailer for Pixels that came out today?
Yes. It'll be horrible.
It'll be horrible, but I have to go see it. The whole lot. If you haven't seen it, the premise is we send a spaceship or satellite out into space back in the 80s, carrying things that's about the culture of the 80s, where there's a lot of video game stuff in it, and some alien picks it up and basically attacks us with their own video game monsters like Donkey Kong and Pac-Man. You got to go see the trailer to kind of follow what's going on.
It has Adam Sandler in it.
I'm all in.
Yeah, it's got Adam Sandler. That's who wrote it. Same people that wrote Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison.
Oh, you mean the same people that'll be in every single movie that he makes?
Yeah, Grown Ups 2. Yeah, all those. Yeah.
Did anybody catch the redo of Bob Barker versus Adam Sandler? The little clip. They just YouTube it up or Funny or Die it up or whatever it is. They have a rematch of their fight from Happy Gilmore. And it's like Bob Barker has the best line. He says, it's like, you haven't been doing much lately, Bob. He's like, well, it's like if I knew I had to toss your salad to be in another one of your movies, I would have a long time ago. I guess he's like, what does he say? God, I can't remember who's the guy that I totally gonna blow the joke because I can't remember the guy's name.
You've already
the
done
guy that played the. Shut up. The movie about the male gigolo with Rob Schneider. He's like yeah. It's like Rob Schneider didn't send me the memo. Just like so he cracks a few wise jokes.
You can do it.
Cut his freaking head off.
I got to run, ALABOOMers. Thank you for having me on for a minute.
Oh, you're always welcome, Mr. Tyrant of the board game world.
Make sure to sign for BGCon if you haven't.
I just
there you go.
It's gonna
All
be
the cool
one.
kids have
It's soon.
Thanks,
I'll give you $95 to cancel Marty's.
Well, I hear 96.
I'm gonna put some money in my hand and we'll reveal, and then we'll see.
It's a blind bid.
It's a blind bid. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, ciao.
Nice talking to you, Scott.
See you, Scott.
Oh.
Thank goodness. So
Avengers?
That's right. We have another Avengers movie coming out, right?
I'm pumped.
I'm excited because it's really hard to screw up a Marvel movie because they're allowed to do anything they want because they've got like 39 million multiverses. But I'm still a little upset that Ultron's being made by somebody other than Hank Pym. They have chosen to leave Hank Pym out altogether. Now, I trust
That's not true. He's going to be an Ant-Man.
Well, he's going to be, but they left him out of Avengers, is what I'm saying.
He'll be in there eventually. Avengers 3.
And how cool is it now that they're actually going to have Spider-Man and stuff in the world, and they finally agreed. Giant piles of money exchanged hands, and so we've got that in the future.
Well, they can finally do a correct Civil War story. Then is what that means.
Well, that's the reason why they did it. I mean, obviously, that's what the smart money would say anyway. That you pony up the dough and you get a Civil War thing. I don't know. It was so bad. It's like the first two Spider-Man movies were great. The third one was horrible, and the reboot first movie wasn't horrible, but it wasn't good. And then the second movie was awful. So it's just like, what are you doing with this? How you just screwing up Spider-Man? It's just like, whatever. Makes me mad.
Speaking of Marvel, I'm looking forward to a Daredevil starting next month on Netflix. That looks pretty good.
I think they'll do something good with it. I want doing all this stuff. I want a hardcore violent Punisher show on Netflix.
Yes. I will back it whenever it takes.
I mean, if you go, I'm sure everybody's seen it, but that little like 12-minute movie that they made for Punisher, that they just what's his face just threw together with some of his friends.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I teared up. I welled up.
No, I mean it was just if you're not familiar, I can't think of his name. Who was the actor that played the Punisher in the
Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane, yeah.
Dolph
Lundgren.
Oh.
No, shut your mouth.
What's going on, Rob?
Yeah.
I'm sure it was Dolph Lundgren.
The Marty. No, Thomas Jane, and they got what's his name, Hellboy actor,
he was the clerk or whatever.
Yeah, he was the shop clerk, and yeah, I mean, it was so perfect too, and you're like, where are you going with this? And then it was just like, yeah, you just manhandles those street punks and rips them apart, and then like he goes and gets his because it was just called Laundry Day, and then he's like throws the kid his T-shirt with the big skull on it. It's just with the bullet holes in the shirt. That's the best part. Yes.
Yeah, I would back that.
I mean, just an ultra-violent Punisher Warzone would be amazing.
Well, the Warzone, the second one they did was awful for like the first 30 minutes until the guy became Jigsaw, and then from there it turned into like Army of Darkness, where it was this like dark, off-the-wall humor. And I thought it was an awesome movie, but they tried to be all super, like, somber and serious, with his family getting killed and everything in the beginning, like, trying to set you up and put you in that kind of mood. And I was like, yeah, okay, this is dumb. And then it just went totally left gear and just drove off into, like, insane land, and it was hilarious after that. But I really what they were doing.
I really like the Thomas Jane movie, actually, and I know I'm kind of in a minority, but I mean, I just love that it's like, I made you kill your wife, I made you kill your best friend, and you hear the scream in the background of the explosion, and your son is dead. It's like, I got my ultimate revenge on you, and they totally let Travolta chew the scenery in there too as a bad guy. So
can I point out that none of that matters because nobody hurt his dog?
Well, it's true.
Fair.
But they did kill his entire family, and
yeah, well, he's just gonna get his one day, his comeuppance,
Yes.
It's like a Disney movie.
It's
without singing.
It's like every movie that Liam Neeson makes now.
Yeah.
Just like. Mm-hmm. But how good is Taken though? I mean, Taken is.
Taken was good.
So,
Taken
I can watch.
Don't even mention Taken 2 in front of me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Did Taken 3 come out? I have no idea. I know it.
I think they made it.
Yeah.
I like the end of Taken 2. That fight at the end and like whatever weird Turkish building they were in was pretty good. But
Taken has. I mean, it's just like it's just such. That is a great revenge movie. Just
It's one of the best.
It goes into the room.
It's so real. It hits home. Like human trafficking actually happens. So like. But like all of us who want to go and just throttle all of those people who are actually doing it, you get a little bit of that vicarious beatdown through that.
Yeah, it just goes into the room, tries to get each one to talk, and the one guy won't talk, and finally gets them to write. It's just you don't remember me. We talked on the phone a day ago. I told you I'd find you.
It's one of the best monologues of all time.
Oh, it is. It's great. And then and even like when he breaks in and he gets knocked out or whatever, and they're gonna kill him in the basement or whatever, and he beats the hell out of him and like smashes that one guy's face open with a fire extinguisher, and then shoots the one guy, and And the guy's like, ask them what they don't know about being silent. And you see the guy hitting the elevator button. It's like.
Yeah, I watched a couple movies recently. I saw Kick-Ass 2. That was awful.
Yeah, why'd you even bother?
I don't know. Well, I just watched it here, and then I saw Gravity, which was really good. It was better than I thought it was going to be.
Gravity was way better than anybody thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the other one was Chappie, which I thought was pretty good. A lot of the reviews are kind of slogging on it. It wasn't amazing, but it was good. I thought.
They're going about halvesies on that one. But then again, I was a weird guy that I thought that like you could.
This is a compliment these days, just so you know. District 9 was good, but man, they should have left about 15 minutes of that movie on the floor too. I mean, it's just like I don't know. It just seems like movies now just like they're either just going too long. I don't know. I mean, and I don't mind a 2-hour movie, but when you have like a 2.5-hour movie and you're just wondering, there had to be 20 minutes that you could get rid of somewhere in there. Like all of the Hobbit movies.
Yeah.
That you could have got rid of 2 of them entirely.
You could have done all of that in 20 minutes. The book is 1/3 the size of any of the Lord of the Rings books.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was just a wager as to see how long can I make this.
That was total Peter Jackson just milking New Zealand for all that it's worth.
Well, and then to be New Zealand, but no, what has he done? I mean, I like Peter Jackson like when he did like The Frighteners. I thought that was a great movie. And then and even the Lord of the Rings movies were pretty good. Who'd we lose? Oh, Marty left. Oh.
The nurse came by. You didn't see her tap on the door.
Oh, I didn't see that. Time for the sponge bath.
Yeah.
Well, I think Joel made him feel a little uncomfortable never unmuting him, you know.
He unmuted himself.
Yeah, he did. No, I don't know. I mean, I never get to go to movies in the theater anymore. I don't have time. If I were to take this camera and point it out that window, you would see the movie theater that's in my backyard, and I still don't get to go. No, it works out. They got $5 movies on Tuesdays now, so that's how I got to see Lucy and all those movies. But my son was born in November, so needless to say, not much has happened other than being an awesome dad between then and now. So, hence me not seeing any of the movies that have been mentioned in the last 20 minutes. The coolest thing I have right over here is my house hammock. You can't see it. Well, actually, you can see part of the right up there. That's the block and the chain. That's part of it.
No, we can't see.
No, we cannot.
Not afraid.
We just
not afraid. Here, hold on a second. Let me see if I can. Well, there I talking. There's my house hammock right over there. See? Well, there you go.
I'll be honest. I'm a little jealous.
You have to like limbo your way into the living room every time you go in there. I love my house hammock. It's like, yeah, okay, I'll turn on the TV and I'll read some rules here, and this is I'm out. I'm asleep. Just gently rocks you to sleep. But yeah, it's other than that, I don't know. Anybody else got anything cool going on? Barry, be quiet. Talking too much.
Sorry.
Barry, has that Afghan moved since the last time I told you to wear it around you like a shawl, like Rihanna?
Nah, like I told you, it's the last thing my mother made me just sit there, before she died.
Oh, well, thank you for. Thanks a lot for bringing that up again, Lance. Okay. You really got to stop talking about stuff in people's backgrounds. Hey, Ryan, where'd you get those pants? Oh.
I'm pretty sure they're from Old Navy, actually. They're awesome. They're reindeer.
They are pretty awesome. They look like dogs at first, but I'm glad you pointed out that they're actually...
Oh, no, they're reindeer. I crazy pajama pants and hats are kind of my thing, so I have all sorts of weird pants.
Where are you located? Because it looks like you're like...
New Hampshire.
Everybody else is asleep right now.
New Hampshire.
Nice. That'll do it.
I don't believe Rhiannon sleeps.
I sleep sometimes, occasionally, upside down or in a coffin, whatever.
Hold on one second, everybody. We might.
No, we don't want anybody else. They're not allowed.
Shush.
I have to go anyway.
Where do you have to go, Anthony?
Because he's an East Coaster.
Anthony, tell us what you've been up to lately. What do you got going up? What do you got going on?
I've been playing Core Worlds from Stronghold Games.
No, I mean seriously. Like, do you have any podcasts or anything coming up? Or
I just released one before we came on the air.
And if I wanted to listen to the fine Jersey voice of Anthony Ricano, where would I go?
I don't know, because I'm not from Jersey.
I'm from Jersey.
All right, I know, from Mississippi. That's right, Mississippi. Maine.
Yeah, exactly. No, New
Rhode
York.
Island. Oh, well, here, let me...
Pretty much the same thing.
We're on iTunes and Stitcher if you want to go find us, the Cardboard Jungle. I don't know why you'd go find us, but we're there somewhere.
They have 3 hours of time to kill.
Here's a glimpse. Here's a glimpse into history. When I went to the first year I ever went to Gen Con, I don't even remember who I was with. I think it was with Patrick Nickel from Crash Games. We were just wandering around, and it was
walked away.
No, it was Friday or Saturday night, and he said, "Hey, I'm going over to this place. I gotta record an interview." And I said, "Oh, okay, I'll come with you. Because we were gonna go grab something to eat or something like that." And so we were wandering around and we were talking, and I didn't know Anthony from a hole in the wall, and you just said, "Hey, what are you doing right now?" And I said, "Nothing." And you, well, here, I want you to be on my podcast. And I was like, okay. And Anthony had me sit down, and the first thing he said was, the Cardboard Jungle finally has been legitimized because I actually have a bona fide star on. And it was like the nicest thing anybody had ever said to me. I was just like, holy cow! It's like, so thank you, Anthony. I remember that, and I have that podcast saved, and I listen to it every once in a while. I remember. Yeah, thank you, Keith.
Can't you little pick me up?
But no. It actually meant a lot to me that you said that. So
the only thing bigger than your head was your bag of games you were carrying.
He says he listens to it sometimes, but he means every morning when he wakes up. It's actually his alarm.
I get up.
Little rocket.
I'm trying to say something nice about Anthony, and you guys got it.
And we're ruining it.
Well, that was your mistake.
Yeah.
But no. So there you go. A little glimpse into the past there. So that's how I met Anthony. And he's never had me on the Cardboard Jungle again.
Yes, I have.
You didn't?
I had you and Chaz on the show, and I said, all right, we're going to follow the regular format. And 2 minutes in, I was like, there's no way we're following the regular format. Let Lance talk.
Well, when are you going to have me on again? I want to be able to talk to you about whatever.
I'll have you on again. Don't worry. Just when it's me and you, we'll hang out and spoon.
Oh,
spooning's my thing.
Promises. All right, buddy.
All right, good night, everybody.
Hey, everybody, we got Don Lloyd from Dark Horse Publishers coming on.
Hi, Dom.
Hello. I feel bad because Don sent me a copy of Hands in the Sea, and I haven't got the review done because I've been busy and a horrible person. But I know Joel did a lengthy review that pimped the heck out of it, and I've enjoyed the game a lot that I played. I just haven't gotten it on my reviewer table. But
slacker.
What?
You slacker! Come on.
Yeah, I know. I just I just not enough time, man. But
Those are eyeballs.
Don, tell us a little about your company and the game you got going on right now. I know it's got like over thousands of dollars for you, but
We've just been working and doing stuff for the past couple years. I mean, I started Nightworks probably about 15 years ago, but because you don't have money to drop down 20,000, it's not something you can just throw out there and have a game be successful without going through Kickstarter. So, Hands in the Sea is just another one of the titles in the line.
It's excellent.
You have like left or something?
No, okay. So the Hands in the Sea, it's not. You say it was inspired by Few Acres of Snow. I mean, which it is. I mean, that's what it feels. I mean, I'm not saying it's a direct port or whatever, but are you a big fan of Few Acres of Snow? I mean, is that why you want to make a game like it, or what was besides that? I mean, what was your I guess for the that's what the Punic Wars. So I mean, is that just something you've always enjoyed reading about, or?
Well, no, actually, Daniel Berger was the designer, and I just ran across it, and I found the design really revolutionary to me, and I had not actually played A Few Acres of Snow much more than once or twice. So when I found out some guy was designing a game that was an hour away from me in Denver, I just thought, well, that would be a great title to get in my line. So I by myself, I'm not really a big history buff, but I just thought it was a good opportunity.
Okay. And Joel, I mean, obviously you've got your review out there, so so everybody, yes, and so if you're not a fan of Drive-Thru Review, just go watch that one at least. Joel, give us.
If you can stomach a good 20 minutes or so of my face.
Give us your 2-minute rundown for the game.
Can you do that in color?
Yeah.
For
Hands in the Sea.
Just a minute.
What, are you gonna read up your notes or what?
No, I had to quiet Keith. Yeah, so it's a lot like Few Acres of Snow. There are some differences for sure. There's a lot of ways that you can win, as opposed to Few Acres of Snow, where you have sort of your kill victory, and then you get a bunch of victory points if you don't, get your quick strike. But so there's a lot more beyond that. Like there's Sicily, you can try to control that. That's a big part of it. And then there's another island. Can't remember the name of that island, but so you can there's a lot of like prongs and paths and things to go and try to take over. And it's got like a whole Navy combat thing, and it has two new things. I'll say one is instead of just building your deck, you have these strategy cards. You can only ever have one of them, and they give you this cool little special power. But then you can kind of swap them out, and you got to pay to maintain them, and they're usually pretty cool. And they're going to change up the game because there's a few of them, and you're not going to go through nearly all of them every game at all. So that'll change up the game. And then there's also the events, which are kind of random, but I think some people may not like those. I won't curse on the internet, but anyway, so you might have them if you have a stick up your rear end. You might not like those, but I really enjoy them. They add a lot of flavor to the game and really kind of bounce the strategy around and all that kind of stuff, and make it different and variable. And there's something else that's really different about it too. I'm spacing out on it, but yeah, there's other little nooks and crannies and stuff that makes it, I think, better than A Few Acres of Snow. And actually, I put Mythotopia on my trade pile after the second time I played it. I was like, well, I don't need this anymore. So I really like it a lot. Anyway.
Well, okay, I'll back it.
Yes.
Well, I like A Few Acres of Snow, so.
I still like Few Acres of Snow. I played it at least 50 times on what's it called, Yucata, after I got rid of it, even with the stupid hammer and all that. I still had a great time playing that.
To have played against people who use it, and I still beat them, and I'm just like, oh, I'm so unsuspecting, even with your stupid Halifax hammer. And they're like, damn it. And I'm like, you suckers.
Well, you have to execute it perfectly.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Well, that's a whole other conversation, but yeah.
All right.
Well, let me ask a question, and this just Don, this is for you. You say you're not a big history buff or whatever, but like it seems like your games seem to focus on history, though. I mean, just like for example, Forged in Steel. I mean, it was about an actual time in history for that area of the world, and so it's like I don't know. It just seems weird that you say you're not a history buff, but it seems like your games seem to focus on that.
That's the really odd thing about it. I mean, for the past 15 years, I've been trying to design stuff, and everything that I've ever designed for myself has always been fantasy or sci-fi based. But when I started up the company, I happened to run with Dark Horse, which is an Old West, Wild West type of game. And then the next game in line was going to be Forged in Steel, and then the other one was going to be Mill City. which I talked about with you a little bit about milling flour in Minneapolis back in the time period, 1800s and everything. And then I turned around and did Hands in the Sea.
You better publish that because that's like in my back door. I mean, that's like that's where I live. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm stepping all over you.
Oh no, you're fine. But yeah, I've got all these titles lined up that were based in history. But as a designer myself, I've been actually designing a lot of science fiction and fantasy-based stuff. So it's just the games that have come along and we're ready. The rule books, the play, the polishing, the tweaking, they've all been historical-based games. So, and when I say history buff, I'm talking about spending a lot of time reading history and reading about different wars, and that's what I see a history buff as someone who's really deep in history. I have a gaming group that plays a lot of war games, and as they're playing the game, they'll talk about the Russians and different sides of the battles, and I've never even heard of half the stuff that I'm playing, so. That's something that I can't call myself really a history buff. I've played Here I Stand, Successors, and some of these other deeper games, and I don't know the period, the history behind it. So, but yes, I'm still publishing historical-based games.
In high school. So you can tell me anything about Russia. I'm just gonna have to believe you.
No, I mean, okay, but
everybody's so fast.
Well, it's pretty awesome that, Forged in Steel, you got, that was successful, and now Hands in the Sea, and you're successful with a week left to go. So, cool, man. It's good to see that you're the little publishing company that could, or whatever. Because I remember when you sent me Dark Horse, that's 3 years ago now?
About 3, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's kind of cool that not only one but 2 successful Kickstarters in the last 9-10 months, which is pretty awesome. What else do you got coming? Do you have anything coming up? Anything in the works?
We're
besides
actually going to try to get Mill City back out there.
Cool. And what have you been playing? I ask everybody, what have you been playing, or that isn't something that is your publishing company?
Well, nowadays that's hard to answer, but I just got hooked on Alchemists. I just have been fascinated with Alchemists. I keep on asking people to play it because I want to break the game. I want to figure it out.
That's weird because we talked about this earlier today. I actually mentioned that I finally played it and I wasn't inspired by it. I guess is the best way to put it. I don't know. It's I gotta play it again. And see if I just played it wrong, or if I just there's something about it I'm not grasping. So
that game gives me a headache.
Yeah, it's got a tough entry point. That I'm not. I need to play it again. And I think the group I played it with, they were not ready for the mental challenge that game was going to present to them. I think they wanted to play something a little lighter. So,
yeah,
which fine, and that's weird because I'm not one to shy away from heavy games. That's what I'd rather play 9 times out of 10. I need to have an engaged group to do to play that stuff. So
it's hard to find time to play the heavy games because you need not only plenty of hours, but you also need minimal distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you need also to be single with no kids. That helps.
But you sit down to play something a little bit heavier than that, where you actually want to concentrate and strategize a little bit more. It's hard to find those people and everybody finding that time together. But it's awesome.
Well, I think that's one of the things that I actually in about literally a month from now is when I have my little mini convention at my local game store, and I get about 35 people in there, and we kind of just lock the doors and we play games for 48 hours, and that's when I'm actually able to sit down and play a 7-hour game of Game of Thrones with the full 6 players, And
7 hours for that?
Well, with all the discussion and the screaming and gnashing of teeth, yes, at least. It's pretty brutal. And we play it, and it's we roll. We the only thing that ever is random is which force you get or which house you get.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I got so destroyed. I got Stark last time, and the very first turn of the game, everybody went off to talk and discuss, and I thought I had both. Both Greyjoy and Lannister turned on me immediately, and I was destroyed in the first turn of the game. I spent the rest of the game trying to crawl back. Even the Baratheons gave up on me. I was just like, "You sons of bitches!" But it was a lot of fun. So there you go. And speaking of which, is there any like big giant long games that you guys love to play but you can't play ever?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, that's not a game. That's a role-playing game. That's a discussion for another time.
It's a role-playing what?
It's a different animal. We discussed this earlier. You weren't around. But does anybody got any games that, like the big longer games that you wish you could play?
I just played Dune the other day twice for the first time.
You played it twice and you did a review, huh? What kind of review are you? Only playing a game twice and you did a review?
I was upfront about all that.
I'm going to just shake my head slowly at you right here.
All right.
How could you possibly understand the complexities of the game, Joel?
Say what? What's that,
How could you possibly understand the complexities of the game? You're only
reading the rules.
So let me get this straight. You played the game twice, and you felt that was enough for you to do a lengthy video review of it.
I didn't even watch the review. I get it. You would completely understand if you watched my review.
Nope. I'm so.
I think that
Google Hangouts it says just so you know, Lance can eject you. I'm like.
No, I think it should be mentioned that yes, that I think as video reviewers we should all just be very sorry that we have to have Joel Eddy as a peer at this point because we just can't respect him. Yeah, trust him to
integrity. God.
Oh yes, I mean Don, I'm sorry that he was the one who gave your review for your game. I'm sure now you'll lose several backers over this.
I'm taking it back.
Is anybody tweeting this out? Is anybody tweeting this out?
2 times.
2 times? And you felt that was good? 3 times?
I'm pretty sure you're only criticized for not playing a game enough if you give a negative review. So.
Oh yes. As long as you gush about it after reading 3 paragraphs worth of rules, that'll be enough, right, Joel? That's what you have to do.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I miss you so much, Joel. I'm actually going to be sad, man. We're not going to be rooming together at Gen Con. I was thinking about that. I was just like, I'm not going to room. I room with him every year.
About that? That's disgusting.
I was sad. It made me sad. It was like, because there was, like, every night when we'd get back to the room, right before we'd take a shower together, we would...
Why don't I have a warning about this?
No. I mean, but seriously, like one of the two of us would get back to the room before the other one. Obviously, it'd be tough to because we'd not meet up at all. But then we'd both be so wired on the caffeine and all the people we'd talked to and everything we'd done. And then we'd just and we'd be comparing the game stacks and just oh, did you check this out? Oh, yeah, check that out. Oh, go check this out. And I remember one time I was just sitting there reading the rules to a game or something like that, and Joel just came bursting in the room, threw a copy of Kimball's Crusade, and he goes, "That game's the shit, yo."
It's like somebody
just dropped it like it was the microphone, and just geez, he's like, that game's fucking awesome. And I was like, okay, that's cool.
I've played it twice.
Yeah, I read the glossary of the rules. It's going to be amazing.
It's so nerd summer camp. That's what it is.
Yeah. No, so I mean, it's just we're not going to be rooming together for the first time ever, at Gen Con. So it makes me a little sad.
I won't know.
I will say, for the first time ever, I will be rooming at all at Gen Con, and I spent more on my room at the JW Marriott than I think I've paid in rent on my apartment in the last 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at least I'm in walking distance.
Don't get me started about crying because I'm remote now.
Oh, that's my nice Omni room. I'm gonna be so close, all by my lonesome.
You're not bringing anybody with you there? No.
Please, nobody wants to
she's
come
bringing
with me.
all of her friends. That's what
Ghost winning boy toys coming with you or anything?
Well, they're already there. I just pick those up, dispose of them before I go. Obviously.
I gotcha.
Look at my awesome reindeer pants. Come on.
Hey Keith, are you gonna get us a reservation for Fogo on Wednesday night then?
I can do that.
Yeah, you should do that. My wife and I will be there. We're down to Fogo.
We have to pick what time we want to do it, and then we can book her.
We should probably like try to plan on like doing it like later, like 7 or 8 or something like that.
I think it's close to 50 or 60 bills a person per night.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll just eat a lot of food and then go and stumble back to our rooms and
then go into the meat sweats. Yeah.
Yeah, go to the meat sweats. You gonna join us for that one, Joel, or not? Or are you gonna be too cool?
Yeah, well, probably not. But is there room to play a game of World Cup, the board game?
Probably not.
Well, that's your Wednesday night Blood River
tradition
fest. Yeah. Such a great tradition that you never invited me.
It only plays up to 8. I'm the invitee. I don't organize it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Really fine if you like soccer.
All right. Well, we'll go down the list here. I think we're winding down, so let's go down the list. And John wandered off. Oh, there he is. Barry.
My wife's prettier than you, Lance. I'm sorry.
No, okay. Barry, I have longer hair than her. She does not. Barry, what do you got? You got anything coming up? You got any episodes coming up or anything like that?
Tomorrow I'm doing one of them sit-downs with Sweethearts or Rivals, the Canadian couple up there. Other than that, I don't know what's coming out next week, what game, but.
Then if I wanted to check out your stuff, where would I go?
A Gateway Gamer on YouTube. Gateway Gamer runs through on YouTube. I don't know why you want to check it out, but go ahead.
Well, just keep talking yourself up. That's how you get a follow.
He does the hard sell, Barry.
Yeah.
You don't want to watch this.
Yeah, it surprised me. I got, I think it's up to like 450 subscribers or something, and it's like 449 more than I thought. But.
No, man. Just keep doing your thing, man.
Steadily growing.
Oh no, I've enjoyed. You got to have me back on again sometime, man. I really enjoyed our talk that one time. So, so whenever you got time, just ask away. Well, let's go to the actual publishing type people. John, if people want really cool dice, and what should they do?
Scroll up in the chat window because Rhiannon's awesome and posted the link for me. Because I'm a Google Chat infant.
Well, could somebody just Google up Kickstarter halves these dice, and maybe that would probably take them the same place?
This isn't much of a bragging rights. I mean, who really cares? But if you go to Kickstarter and you put in any word in the entire English language, you get like 900 hits. But if you put in halfsies, only one thing shows up, and that's my dice.
Very cool.
So if you Google it comes up.
What if somebody wanted to pick up a copy of King's Armory? What would they have to do at this point?
That, for the record, is a good idea. And the best is to go to our website because our website has all the options. You can get the retail version through the Halvesies campaign, but through the website you can get the retail version and the special edition. The special edition is the Kickstarter version. We had extras left over, and I asked my backers because it's always that ooh, do you sell the extras? And they're like, please don't burn stuff for the environment. If nothing else, don't throw out paper for no reason. Just sell it, make a profit, and take care of your wife and your baby. So that was really nice. So we are. So we've got some extra Kickstarter versions there, and that would be www.gatekeepergaming.com.
One of those special versions has my name on it, right, John?
If you mean literally, no. If you mean going to be mailed to you eventually, yes.
Oh,
you'll get your own picked out version of the game.
Sweet. All right, Mr. Lloyd. If somebody wanted to, well, obviously they can find Hands in the Sea right now in Kickstarter, correct?
That's right.
And if I wanted to find out more about your other games or your company, where would I go?
Nightworksgames.com. Night with a K.
I was just going to say, is it Knight or is it Night? Yeah.
It's Knigget.
No, all your games are still in print right now, right?
Dark Horse is almost out of print.
But the expansion, you still got plenty of those, correct?
Yeah, unfortunately, I did a little miscalculation on that, and I've got quite a few of those left.
Here's my question. I couldn't fit everything from Rebels and Rogues into my game box.
That
So
was
it
was a manufacturing error. What happened with that is that I sent files to China, and at some point I realized maybe I should check on that. And I sent them a second box size, and they said, okay, we'll do this box size. When the pallets came 9 months later, it was the small box size. So I sent them files too soon.
Gotcha. No, I came up with I was able to solve the problem myself, but it was like that's kind of cool though. I mean, you get so much stuff in the expansion, it no longer fits in the normal box. So, and Forge and Steel, how's the stuff coming along for that? I mean, as far as I realize there's a lot of steps from funding to publishing, but
with the two campaigns running back to back, it's been kind of weird. I mean, you always hear people say when you run a Kickstarter, it's absolutely crazy. Well, I ran 2 back to back, so I'm hanging on to my marriage right now.
Nice. All right, cool, man. Well, I mean, best of luck, and like I said, if you are a fan of the Few Acres of Snow or Mythotopia type game, you really need to check out Hands in the Sea. It's an excellent game. Listen to Joel Eddy. He read the rules and did a video review of it. So, you gotta believe in him. Keith, you're a hanger on, but what do you got going on? Anything?
Not a lot. I'm just hanging out on Twitter and talking to you guys.
You got Boom Quest going on, baby.
I do got Boom Quest going on, and I assume we'll have another episode coming up soon.
Yeah, let's try either Friday night or, as we said, next week, Friday. Maybe we can get 2 in. Who knows? Cool. And Ms. Ocho. The
Should have
Ocho.
just kept my maiden name. It would have been so much easier.
What was your maiden name? Smith?
Lee.
That's my dad's name.
Lee.
Not his maiden name. No, my dad's name is Lee, yes. So.
It's just me to know that your dad used to be a maiden.
Yes. No, what do you got going on? Hey, by the way, what game are we playing at Gen Con? What is our event going to be?
The event stuff just closed on Friday, so nobody's heard back as to whether or not their events have been approved or not yet. But it's going to be like the board game All-Stars thing, where there's going to be like little stations of games and Snake Oil. Joel, I know, is looking forward to that one.
Joel, have you played Snake Oil?
He read the rules. He knows whether or not it's open.
In this case, Lance is correct. I read the rules. I go, oh, apples to apples. No thanks.
No, it is not apples to apples. Damn it.
I'll try it.
That's right, you will, and you'll like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both times.
Wow, that's forceful, Rhiannon.
That's how I roll. Damn it, you're gonna do it.
Just the tip. You're gonna like it.
More if you do.
All right.
I'm gonna go. Hold on. I gotta post them on Twitter.
I can only imagine. No, but you got anything coming up, Rhiannon? Any episodes of your?
I just did one today about luck in games, and I totally ignored Robin and Kyle and just talked about games that I like that have luck in them.
Which is almost all of them.
Right, but these are like can't stop, like push your luck type games that are supposed to be based on this luck mechanic. if it's real or not, I don't know. I don't care. I just want to play them and have fun. It says on the box, oh, it's the best push your luck. But anyway. And then Boom Quest, maybe Friday, maybe next Friday. I don't know.
Maybe Minx will rejoin the party.
Minx will reappear from the boudoir. Yes, she will be.
Atta girl.
I hope you can find a good apothecary.
There you go. Or at least enough blotter to forget the night ever happened, if you will.
Oh, well.
All right, Joel, what do you got going on?
Well,
he's read some rules and done a review.
I'm going to do osmosis on this prototype.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. This is a good one, I can tell.
What is that? What was
It's
that?
actually a prototype. That's true. I played it right before this when I was watching the basketball game to learn it, and it seems neat. I don't think I can talk about it, though.
You just did.
It's not like for a Kickstarter video. It's somebody sent it to me just to kind of play with and test. But it's kind of neat. And I don't know that I can say anything about it, actually. But tomorrow is game night for me. And then we're going to go watch some hockey this weekend. And then, that's pretty much it.
Well, what hockey game are you going to watch?
We have it's called the WHL, the Western Hockey League. It's basically minor league hockey. Yeah,
all right. It is NHL. I thought I could talk about the Minnesota Wild again. Because there are.
How are they doing?
Worse. Oh man, they've gone on like some weird 26-4 tear.
Yeah.
We traded for this backup goalie from Arizona, and he is just lighting it up. He's played every single game, hasn't taken a break, and he's like 24-6-1 or 2 or something like that. He's just destroying. So, yeah, he basically took the Wild from 10th place. He alone, took the Wild from like 10th place to now they're 5th, and banging on the door to get to 4th. So, playoffs, baby.
Don't you just feel like
fans, so they've been playing real well the second half as well. So
yeah,
maybe
what
we'll
was that,
meet
John? A big old fat guy who can juggle. I figure that's the goal, right?
Well, I've always wondered, and there's got to be a rule. I've always wondered what would prevent an NHL team from just going out and finding some 800-pound man and just shoving him in the net. Yes, the goalie does a heck of a lot more, as far as just direct traffic. But if you can't score a goal, if the guy basically if there's nothing, no way to score, then you're gonna win. It's just, I don't know. There must be a rule. There's got to be a rule.
There's waist limits on it.
Well, they did do a thing where they decreased 5 or 6 years ago. They actually they trimmed down the pads, where the pads that the goalies wore were way too big, and they were able to block too much of the net, and so they did some changes to the actual pads. Oh, and I remember what was it, Patrick Waugh, what was it, seemed 4 or 5 years ago or whatever, one of his last 2 years in the league. Great goalie. But he went through this, he had this ritual that he would go through, and all goalies have a ritual. And if you watch them, they because they're very superstitious, but basically he'd dirty up the ice in front of his in front of the goal, and he'd always do it in such a way, because after the Zamboni would come, and he'd just skate back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then what they realized was he was actually building up so much ice shavings on the sides that it would actually affect the actual, when the puck would come in, it would actually affect it and deflect it a little bit. And so they actually made him not go through this little ritual he did. And the jury's still out if he was doing it on purpose or if he actually was doing it for a competitive edge or it just happened to be like that. But just kind of one of those neat things about sports. The Patriot way, if he ain't cheating, he ain't trying. So. That's just.
You would have been better off if you just kind of took maybe a sheet of plywood or something out onto the ice with them. It would have been more effective.
I think that would be pretty kind of obvious. It's the problem. If you're constructing a lumber guard of some sort and putting it in front of you, I think people would raise a bit of a concern. So, there you go. I don't know. As far as me, I got nothing going on. Just more videos. I don't know. I got game night tomorrow night. I don't know. I got the same group that didn't want to play anything heavy tomorrow, so I don't know what I'm going to play. Maybe I'll just play Boom Runaway like 10 times or something.
Yeah. It's
I
fine.
totally overpaid for that.
Consider your source. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's just like...
So you could have just asked if I had an extra one, which I do, and I would have sent it to you, unlike Lap Dance.
What, you want to send me a lap dance?
No, you were supposed to send it to me.
My wife would have a real problem with that. Just so
a woman who reviewed it, who wasn't like,
my wife is extremely jealous, so I don't think you sending me a lap dance would.
Like get Boom Runaway, Boom Runaway.
All right. Well, it was fun. It was good. I appreciate everybody who tuned in to listen to us blather at each other. Somehow we have 14 people out there. We actually peaked at like 22. Well, maybe we put them to sleep.
They just put the computer on and laid down.
Yeah, we are my house hammock, basically the audio version of my house hammock. It's just people turn it on and fall asleep. But yeah, cool. Just thanks for everybody for taking the time to be on. Thanks for joining us, Don and John. Yeah, John's falling asleep. And
we could open a surf shop. That'd be pretty cool.
Would I have to learn how to surf? I'm always like deathly afraid of like having like a shark come and eat me if I was surfing. Because you look like a seal from underneath. They've shown pictures. It's like you look exactly like a sea lion, just having a good day, and all of a sudden a great white shark's like, oh, that looks tasty, and all of a sudden you're missing a leg, and it's just like, and you're just thinking, oh, this is really great.
But think about how cool a Viking would look with a peg leg.
How
No.
to train your dragon. I know how that works.
Bring a taser with you. Always bring a taser with you when you go surfing.
Really? Yeah. You think a taser is going to have any effect on like a 1,200-pound great white shark? I realize it's
a water reference, but yeah.
I realize the chances of being eaten by a shark are like 0, but I mean, still, I don't know. Whenever people are like, "Oh, let's go swim in the ocean," I'm like, "Yeah, it's okay. I'm good right now." I don't know. I don't like the idea of like who knows what's out there kind of thing. A lake is nice. You get maybe a 3-foot-long northern in there somewhere. That's what it's. That's a 3-foot-long northern, not northerner, Rhiannon. Quit licking your lips.
I was not even listening to you. I was trying to find my RPG folder on my computer. But sure.
Well, thanks. But all right. Well, you guys, lots of fun. Thanks again for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, John. No problem, my friend. And
everyone back hands. And halvesies.
What?
I said everyone back hands.
Yeah, back halvesies.
I did.
Back halvesies, back hands in the sea.
I did.
And halvesies.
What's your favorite color?
Me?
Clear.
Yeah. Everybody, what's your favorite color setup over there?
Over there?
You're voting on the halvesies colors, right?
Are those the ones in the cases or the ones that are down at the bottom?
The ones that are down at the bottom, there's the huge voting list that's like 10 in a row.
Yeah.
They're the ones to vote for right now. And then above those, there's like the sets that are currently available. There's like the thing, and then it says like the lore, Mithril, Chalcum, Adamantium, Moonlight Sonata. They're the ones that are available to get, and then the set of 10 is the ones that we're voting on right now. So you can tell me which ones you like of the ones that are available or what you would vote on.
I gotta go look at them.
Yeah. All right, it is almost midnight. I am going to bed.
It's almost 1.
It's almost 1.
Well, what time do you work tomorrow, Rhiannon?
Oh, that's right, 24/7, because I'm a stay-at-home mom. So.
Oh, well, so notice you don't really have a job.
Good for
you. Wins.
That's the goal. Not gonna lie, that's the goal of halvesies.
Oh yes, that is true. If you can become a dice tycoon, then you're gonna make it so your wife doesn't have to go to work.
That's the goal. At 69,000, we've got at least 3 extra months of her not returning to work. So we'll see how it goes.
So you're gonna use people's money that they give you for dice to pay for things that aren't dice?
Yeah, it's called profit.
Yeah, it's called the United States of America.
There's not a lot of it,
but it's enough to reinvest that money into dice and dice-type things. No. All right, well, good on you, John, and you too, Don. For it makes me happy when people that are my buddies are successful in things that they chase after. So.
Yeah,
All right, I'm going. I'm turning this off. So, well, we're gonna do that thing where I stop the broadcast and then we pretend that we're done, but then we talk for like 10 minutes later afterwards. So, anyway, everybody who tuned in, thank you so much for joining us. Yes. We'll talk again soon. Shut up, Barry.
Okay.